And
Here we
we're
go.
live.
Welcome. Hello, guys, and welcome back. It is David here. And if you can't read my sign, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm at Casino Quest. And I was muted only moments ago for those who are going to enjoy some lip reading. But there we go. We're live. Look at this. I got my red bill. We ran out of Ghost, sadly. I'm going to just kind of talk.
You betrayed?
Huh?
You crossed over? You betrayed?
I've crossed over, dude. Yeah. So, yeah, we got to fill up the dead space. As you know, sometimes I have trouble filling in the dead space. That's not true. I'm like the wall of sound. Phil Spector, dude. I met that guy. I actually met that guy, Phil Spector, with the big crazy hair. He's in jail now. I think he might have passed away. He might have passed away. He's in jail. Yeah, he killed some people, dude. It was rough for him. But he rented an apartment at a place I worked at because David's done quite a few things. This was shortly after Scientology. And yeah, he rented a garden apartment to have some parties in. But yeah.
Anyway,
all right, so welcome back.
Alan Toy's asking if you watched this 30-year-old challenge. Are you proud of him?
I am so proud of you, dude, but I haven't watched your challenge. So. But I'm proud of you anyways. Attaboy. I heard about it. I heard it was epic. I've been so busy. Even my car is an absolute mess. That's how busy I am. So it's embarrassing. But I did hear that you did a fantastic job. Congratulations. Are you number one? Because now someone messaged us about the leaderboard being, screwed up. Is the leaderboard still screwed up? Do we have a leaderboard? Who's the leader right now? How does my $5?
Don't ask me. I don't edit them.
Because I bailed with $5. I got to take that challenge again, dude. Just so you know, I need to do a redo. And all right, well, we have a fantastic show for you if you haven't already heard. This is gonna be the worst in Vegas. And amazingly, believe it or not, I'm a very unfiltered individual, and sometimes I will say things I probably shouldn't. I lose out on a lot of business and a lot of friendships, a lot of things basically, because I tend to insert foot into mouth kind of thing a lot.
Oh, okay. So Alan Toy says he's the leader, but number 2 and 4 through 4 are incorrect. So everything else is right.
Everything else is right. All right, that's good. So I was gonna say, I was gonna try and go ahead and be filtered, but that's not gonna happen. So we're just gonna go off the rails for this one. So join me for a fantastic episode of The Worst in Vegas. And we are going to go down we're going to split it up. We're going to do the worst for locals and the worst on the strip. And I've compiled a list. It's not too long because we're trying to get the hell out of here before the sun goes down. Is the sun down? I think the sun's already down. Never mind.
It's too late.
Never mind. It's too late. Is enough people in the in this thing? Should I just start moving forward with the oh wait, I gotta plug some stuff.
You gotta plug some
stuff.
So
here's the first stuff. We have some tables coming. We have some manufacturers that are coming online to make us some fantastic tables, so you can get brand new finished tables between like the 5,000 and 6,000 mark. These are going to be 8 and 10 feet tables and brand new fantastic stuff. And they're coming to us within about 30 days. So stay tuned for that. You'll be able to find them on shopcasinoquest.com. So we have been slowly migrating over to the Shopify site that we have evolved. We should have started with Shopify at the beginning, to be honest. By the way, unpaid sponsorship. We were with another company who, we weren't able to do downloads. Everything was disconnected. But needless to say, we're learning. Again, we didn't start out in retail. A couple of years ago, I was bent over a crap table. So it's been a little bit of a learning curve, just so you know. And we are finally figuring things out and figuring what people like and what they don't like. But it's been a fantastic experience seeing all of us. We've been sold out Fridays and Saturdays. Reservations have been through the roof despite Omicron and everything else that's going on. So we're very excited about that. So prepare yourself, shopcasinoquest.com, and thank you, John. Get your ass in gear, buddy. Okay? Get those tables. All right. Moving on from there. What else do we have? Oh, do you have my promo slide? There you go. Just in case nobody missed it. We have CQDealers.com for if you want to learn Blackjack, Roulette, and Bach. Don't want to forget that. Patreon.com, Casino Quest. So we are evolving Patreon. As you know, we're going to make an announcement at the end. We have a surprise announcement about one of our key staff members. and we're gonna let that out at the end. We don't want anybody to be too depressed during the podcast, even though it is the worst stuff in Vegas.
That's thrown out the window if you've already watched the vlog on Tycoon. By the way.
Oh, really? That's already... Well, how do you know? See, now you spilled the beans, dude. They didn't know that's what it was, okay? But yes, if you already start on our Vegas Tycoons vlog, then you kind of know what the beans are. And we're going to do a kissy, hug, and call that chapter the end.
What?
Oh, we're going to move on.
What?
Listen here, buddy.
What?
Can you get back to my slide?
Are you kidding?
Listen here. Yeah. Kissy, hug. That's how you end things. That's how you start new. All right. But we are those casino. We're a lot of love for, you know, so we gave away the farm on Patreon, by the way, the $3 tier. We put out all those videos originally because our YouTube channel got spanked. And so in an effort to kind of move everybody, we were so worried we were going to get kind of whacked that we just went all in on Patreon. We had no choice. At the time, we weren't really big anyways, so we were like, we'll do this. Now things have changed. Now that we have, you know, a team and people we got to pay and things like this. But we are working on evolving Patreon quite a bit. So in terms of like early releases, we're even working on a live class. So we have the class going up onto our join feature on CEG Dealer School. So we have quite a few classes. By the way, when is the Pai Gow thing going up? Is that next?
Yeah.
We did a Pai Gow with Becky.
Pai Gow.
And I think that's going up tomorrow or today or tomorrow. Tomorrow. But we are, so there's quite a few lessons. There's a lot of lessons, a lot of raw material. But in terms of like a formalized, because so far the CQ Dealers is not going to have craps for a while. That's just not going to happen. So we are going to move some of that content onto our Patreon, make it available in bits and pieces. And I know a lot of you are asking for like the sheets, the PDFs and the downloads and things like that. So those are things we're wrapping our head around. It's a bit slow. I mean, we have this week has been rough. We had quite a few people out, called in sick. And so we had teachers down. We had Casino Quest employees down. We've had to cover. Poor Alex has been bent over all week long. But anyways, so we're trying to do that. All right. And then, of course, Twitch, if you want to watch Alex play and donk it out, you want to get that giggle in the back of your head so you can't get it out. There, twitch.com, Casino Quest Live. And then, of course, our new Vegas Tycoons channel on YouTube is, it's, what the hell's your name again? I'm looking at you and I can't figure out. I want to call you Sticky so bad, but Dennis. Dennis and Jet, it's their sort of love affair with everything that's going on in their life. And they really are evolving as tycoons. I mean, Jet's taking over a lot of the media responsibilities now. And Dennis is our only opportunity. You got to go to bed. It's a little bit of an inside joke, dude. Inside joke right now. Listen, I didn't finish my sentence.
Why do I work here?
I didn't finish my sentence. We love Dennis. Dennis does a fantastic job. He's been promoted like 8 times, just so you know. He's only gotten a raise 2 of those times, but he's been promoted 8. That's terrible. That is just terrible. By the way,
David, I think I'm just.
Can we go back to that haircut? Can we go back? David, does he look fantastic with this new hair?
David, I'm giving my 2-second notice.
2-second notice?
Bye.
Wow. Hey. And then you just leave the camera over there, and I'm just like hanging out with my coffee. Oh my God. All right. Well, let's move on. Because everybody's here for the content. You know, that's all the plugs we can do. But we do have bills. All right. So I've lived here for 30 plus years, minus a little bit of time. I moved to Arizona, moved to LA, this kind of thing. No one cares, of course. But I've lived all around town. I've lived throughout the entire city for the most part. Lived in most sections of Vegas. Evicted from a few of them. Had a tough life for a minute as a dealer. I wasn't the most responsible person. I was a bit of a gambler, and I did drink a little bit. This kind of thing, you know. I was young once before. But anyways, okay. So we're going to split this up into the worst of the local Vegas, and then we're going to go to the worst of the strip stuff. The strip stuff, I think, for many of you is going to be more exciting. But I thought I would throw in the local part because there's a lot of you moving to Vegas, experiencing Vegas for yourself for the first time. We get asked a lot of questions, where to live, what to do, how things are. And I will tell you there's a few worse things. The next episode, we're gonna focus from now on some of the better things. So we're gonna go over some of the things that we like the most, the best things. But we thought we would stay in the same vein and just go over the worst in Vegas. So number 1 on the worst list, and all of you will probably relate to this. I think no matter where you are in the world, this rings true. It's the next slide, buddy.
I know, but I was waiting for you to say something so I can switch over.
No, just show it to them, because then it'll be like, bam, there's the DMV. We have the worst DMV ever devised. So the DMV on many levels here is quite the nightmare. First of all, they say they have appointments, but appointments really don't mean a lot because you're still expect to wait. So your appointment might be at 2:15, and by 4:15, give or take 15 minutes, you should be seen. There are some categories where your appointment will get you right in, but for the most part, it's not a seamless process. They have made efforts to improve the lines, and they've been epic fails. So they had this number thing, this number system where you were able to plug in with your number and then actually leave the DMV, or you had your number assigned to you sort of by mobile or by phone, and then it would call you or let you know like 5-10 minutes, give you a reasonable amount of time to get to the DMV, show up and do your thing. And of course, that ended up being a huge glitch, and people were sort of back in line, and you would run to the DMV, and then they were like, who are you, what's going on? And as you can see, like the DMV in the box, every single time, and I mean every single time, I've been to the DMV that's literally used to be right behind my house. This machine sat there with this sign on it, which seems a bit absurd. Now, meanwhile, Arizona's got this figured out. You can dial it in from Alaska and get your Arizona driver's license. Quite literally. I still have been getting duplicate driver's license from Arizona because I technically have an address there that I can use. And those licenses are good till you're 65. Have you ever had someone come? We've had a girl come to the school with her Arizona ID. And she was in her 50s, and she had gotten this many years earlier and no longer looked the same. A few plastic surgeries later kind of thing. Oh my God. And it was always so stunning. Like, you would think Arizona like update the ID a little bit, but she hung on to this for dear life. I think every time she went into the plastic surgeon, she was like, listen, dial it back to this picture right here. Her 21-year-old picture.
Wow,
but anyways,
really?
Yeah, you get one ID till you're 65, dude. It's fantastic. I mean, for those of us, I don't trust that whole system to be honest, because there's some people at 60 that need to be reevaluated. You know what I mean? I mean, you still got a driver's license,
but also
you got
you don't
no
look
arms.
the same. How would they know? How would they know
Dude,
how you look?
It's a very confusing thing. I'm not sure what's going on in Arizona. It's a very different state. They don't do time save. They don't do a lot of things like the rest of the country. It's a very independent state. Nevada, we think we're independent. They're pretty independent. Can you imagine you get your ID when you're 21 and meanwhile you're 60, you got no arms, you can't see past your eyebrow, and somehow this is you. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, here in Nevada, if you come here, good luck. They're starting to upload things online, but for the most part, you're a bit screwed. There's not a lot of things you can dial in other than the registration. You can renew that online. But
and look, especially in the DMV here in Vegas, do not try to walk in. You'll be there for 5 hours. It doesn't matter what your appointment is.
Yeah, don't walk, especially nowadays. By the way, they have these security guards that sit out there. They aren't police. They aren't what is it at the airport? The ATF? What is it? Not ATF.
TSA?
TSA. They're worse than TSA on so many levels. I mean, it's amazing because they take on this whole authoritative role. I mean, I've actually seen a woman cry as this guy's just screaming at her. I mean, it's just absurd. But the DMV here, it just sucks. Luckily, that's not a tough one. We shouldn't get any real negative comments about that one because I think most people agree. I don't know what it is about DMV employees, but wow, they just dial it in, dude. Oof, God. I mean, there's some tough dealers out there, but man, DMV. I don't know why that is. All right. The next thing is like the worst neighborhoods in town. We get asked that literally more than any other question, and so I've narrowed it down to basically 2 areas of town, and I want to deal with this first area in terms of like historical reference points, and I've excluded crime statistics, dude. I have only because I think they're very skewed. I think a lot of people that are involved in crime affect other people that are involved in crime. And so, like, you go into a neighborhood as someone who isn't dealing drugs, let's just say, and maybe you're not getting shot that day because you're not dealing drugs. You follow? Like, so I don't believe crime statistics on the surface are, no, I'm telling you right now, dude. I've been in neighborhoods that are supposedly the worst, And dude, I've driven through, thumbed a ride, not had any issues. I think it's all relative. I mean, it depends on what you're going to do. What your goal is. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, buddy? He's young. He doesn't understand. Dude.
I mean, it's just the way you're describing it. It's not about what you're saying. It's how you're describing it.
What's going on? What's the matter? It's English here. Isn't it English? Am I speaking English? The media sensationalizes stuff, like, quite literally. Instead of telling you, like, why something happened, they're like, oh my God, crime is up 90%. Well, it's up 90% because, 2 gang lords have been duking it out for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, that, it could have been next door. I could care less. It doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? That's not my thing. Now, if you walk into my casino and you start winning money, that's a story. That's a story we can all dial home, right? Okay. So here's the first slide we have for you, because slides are good. There's a picture. So this area around the Stratosphere, who we love, is called Naked City. And there's the nighttime picture, which looks fantastic, and the daytime picture, which looks less fantastic. And that big piece that you see, that's sort of the back of the Strat as it abuts the area behind it. And interestingly, they have done a lot. There's a community center and pool, but Naked City has always gotten a tough rap. And rightly so. It's a difficult place. I mean, it's not a place you want to be walking through late at night, with unattended, let's just say. Unless you're looking to be attended, you start out unattended and you want to be attended 5 minutes in. That could be a thing. I don't know. But Naked City used to require, like, if you went to Naked City, you couldn't go there unless you had an address on your license that said you lived there. Like a cab wouldn't even let you go there. And the cops would harass the hell out of you if they found you in this area without a home. Like, if you were just hanging out, loitering, looking for something to do. Amazingly, there are 2 7-Elevens within a close, neck to neck of each other. Dennis is dancing. Wow, what are you listening to, buddy? How is it you're dancing? What's going through your head?
I'm not dancing.
You're not dancing?
I'm just swaying.
You're swaying? What's going on with you?
Nothing. I got nothing in my ears.
Do you need help? We got to call somebody?
Are you good? You can keep going.
Keep going? Oh, okay. Because, I wish I could turn the camera. You guys need to see this.
Well, why?
So anyway, here's Naked City. And it gets a bad rap. It gets a much more, it's sensationalized all the time. Just because a cab driver was lit on fire and left to, die at the side of the road. I mean, these things happen. It's not really that bad, to be honest with you. I've walked through there many times, haven't had too many issues. But it definitely does get a bad rap. But it's being gentrified quickly. And originally Bob Stupak's goal was to kind of take out all these weekly motels and slowly sort of upgrade the area around Naked City. And some of that worked out, some of it didn't work out. And it's an area that's close to the Strip. It's cheap, it's very inexpensive, and so it attracts some of the baddest, some of the worst elements, quite honestly. But at the same time, again, I feel like the media sensationalizes a lot of what goes on over there. Like, if there's one issue that happens, it's like, oh my God, because it looks like it's a bad neighborhood, right? It looks like one of the worst places to be in town. And realistically, it's just not. It's not nearly as bad as it's made out to be. But anyways, that's the whole Naked City. Here, go down. But here's what we'll say is, as a general rule, the east side of Vegas has a lot of rough spots. Now, Vegas, as you know, is split up into lots of different neighborhoods. It's literally like neighborhood to neighborhood to neighborhood. There'll be one great neighborhood, one neighborhood a little bit depressed. So it really depends. So I'm not trying to cancel out all of East Vegas. And the police line is me sensationalizing the East Vegas. Because when I pulled up the east side, this is the picture I was presented. This is the first picture that came up, by the way. And I'm like, well, that makes kind of sense. And not all the east side. There's a lot of really wonderful neighborhoods on the east side of Vegas. I've lived on the east side of Vegas most of my life, I would say, here in Vegas, because it tends to be a little cheaper. It gets a bad rap. There's not a lot of infrastructure, not a lot of money being pumped. If you look at what's going on with the Boulevard Mall. Holy crap, the Boulevard Mall, dude. We could talk about that every day. That's the worst mall in Vegas. I don't even have that slide on here. Right?
No, it's kind of weird, to be honest.
It
went from being an actual mall to being a swap meet.
Didn't you go on your first date there, dude? Was that the mall? That was the other mall.
That was Galleria
Where did you
Mall.
buy your girlfriend a dress?
That was Galleria Mall.
Galleria Mall. That's still a nice mall, no?
That's still a nice mall, but Boulevard went downhill. Quick.
Well, you could have taken the train through Boulevard and really just done all your shopping. So that's fantastic. We like that. Boulevard has the best steakhouse in town, though, just as an off note. If you want to go to Primal, it's considered to be the top steakhouse, dude. It's top steakhouse. Can you imagine all these really foofy, expensive steakhouses on the strip? And this is the one. Primal. Anyways, it was good. Service was weird, but the food was fantastic. It's definitely worth it. So, anyways, all right.
Well, what did we have there? I don't even remember what we had.
So there's a few things with East Side Vegas that's really impacting the East Side negatively. One is really just the mass exodus of everybody. The minute you get any money, you get a job, you feel good about yourself, everybody's like, go west, young man, go west, or go south, southwest, far north, these kinds of things. So this is what's contributed to, I think, sort of the evolutionary negative cycle that is East Side Vegas. And I think in the near future, it's only going to impact it in a negative way. So we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're going to go up to my worst thing about Vegas is the big lie. Is this local? Yeah. So here in Vegas, if you're not already aware, the media focuses on everything that's negative all throughout the week, every day of the week. Whatever goes on, where someone dies, gets run over, it's literally the center news. So this is a bit of a local thing. So if those of you visiting the Strip, you might not turn on the local Channel 8, Channel 13, whatever the case is, but it's literally just everything worse, the worst possible thing over and over. And I think this happens in a lot of areas throughout the country, right? I think for the most part, wherever you live, this is the focus, the big drama. How do we make everybody go, oh my God? But this is a clickbaity thing, and people love to watch this crap. And I grow tired of it. I really do. Sometimes, like a lot of you, I think we have to shut off the news and move on to something more entertaining like Kino or Mary Poppins or things like this, right, buddy? What do you do? What's your happy place?
What's my happy
Anime?
place? Like, what do you mean?
Anime, basically.
But
you watch anime where there's a lot of death and mayhem, and right?
Well,
Everybody has their happy place. You can't watch the news all day. You'd kill yourself. I mean, it would be like it's just.
Well, it's either like Casey Neistat's vlogs or
really?
like a movie.
That's pretty positive stuff. No.
Yeah,
I've watched this stuff, right?
It's actually pretty good. Or like movies or anime. Just it really depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah, every week a new Marvel movie comes out, so you can see that.
No Marvel.
Marvel number 85 coming soon.
They should just start numbering them. They should just start numbering them.
No, they should start numbering. They should do like Fast and Furious and just
just F9. I like how they just gave up.
Yeah. So here in Vegas, it's a lot of that. It's we have 2 million people. Shit happens. I wish the focus. I wish we would find at least a few more stories about the positive things that are going on. But of course, that's just how it goes. So it's amazing the number of people that come to me and like, oh, is it safe to go down? Yes, it's safe to go down the Strip. Of course, crime is up on the Strip because there's a lot more people coming to the Strip. So for a year, we didn't have a whole lot of people. Everything was locked down. There weren't a lot of statistics to collect, and now that's changed. So yes, crime is up. Incidents are up. All those things are up compared to last year, right? But in general, I've never had an issue, me personally. I know people that have had issues, in most cases minor. I've never been part of a shooting here, nothing like that. We did have the mall one time was locked down because of an issue. But the mall's always right on top of it, man. If they hear of anything within like a 5-mile radius, we get like warnings. It's quite something. So they're great with that. All right. So don't listen. If you're coming to Vegas or you're coming to the school or you're planning to participate, I'm happy to help you kind of work through, like help you where you want to live, what are the best job opportunities, all those great questions. In terms of the rest of it and how the media sensationalizes the stuff, maybe less so. I don't have all that information. All right. Are you ready? Here's the worst local casino by far. Here it is. Bam. They're going to hate me after this, but that's okay. I'm good with that. This is Silver Sevens. Used to be a Hotel Continental, and then they put a big fence around it. If you don't know the history, the partners involved with Hotel Continental had some kind of little battle. Overnight, they put a fence around the whole property. As people were showing up to go to work, there was a fence around the property. They couldn't get to work. That was a bit exciting. I actually lived very close by, and it was fun. You drove there, And you could see people that were trying to get into work just sort of parked on the side of the road trying to figure out why the hell is there a fence? It's one of these little chain link fence they had around the whole place. Anyways, then it became, eventually it was purchased by Terribles, and they named it Terribles Casino. That didn't last too long, as you can imagine, and ultimately it became this Silver Sevens. At some point, they just said screw it and cash this check in. So as Terribles, they did some renovations, and quite a few actually. They new carpeting, the decor inside was changed, the buffet, as far as I know, was updated, the cafe area. So they say they made some pretty significant improvements, but at some point they just said, screw it, we're out, and this place has descended to madness as a local property. And I say that more so because I used to frequent it as a Hotel Continental, and it was kind of a dive, but it was a cozy dive. The sportsbook was kind of interesting. It was a lot of activity. They had this famous, poker game that was the end. When I say famous, I mean a 1-2 limit game at the end of the pit, which was kind of fun. If you really wanted to see people about to check out, and I mean check out, they had some fantastic poker players there, dude. You could just literally pace the ambulance outside. Anyways, I died. Oh God, that's terrible. Did you hear me laugh there? That's terrible. That's terrible. But anyways, Silver Sevens. Every single interaction I've had with this casino over the last couple of years has been just absolutely terrible. I had a friend of mine that booked a room there for a whole week, and then came and ended up getting a shuttle from the airport and had 2 pieces of luggage with him. And when he went to check in, they referred him to the Players Club to hold his luggage. So a lot of hotels will have some place where you can put your luggage temporarily, right, while you're transitioning. Let's say from another room, or maybe from the airport, like this was. They didn't have anything. They had no luggage check. They had nothing there, which is understandable. Small casino, got it. So they sent him to the Players Club desk, and the Players Club guy is like, yeah, I don't know why they sent you here. We're not watching your luggage, yada, yada. Back to the other lady. The lady's like, yeah, it's not a problem. Watch. That guy's like, sorry, sir. And meanwhile, 6 hours later, he's got to lug his luggage around. I mean, it's, plus they used to have the best macaroni salad. There was this buffet, dude, had a fantastic macaroni salad.
Sounds like you frequent this place a lot.
I lived right near it. And it was cheap and it was accessible. It was a lot of fun. People were fun. I mean, nowadays, you go in there and you can tell these people are just miserable.
Well, now you have to be over 21 to even walk in.
Are you kidding me?
Don't you remember we tried to go in?
Oh, that's another thing. That's such nonsense, dude. I don't know what happened. That guy was literally on roids at that time. I don't know what happened. This isn't a 21 property. There's all sorts of... So we tried to walk in just the front door, and we were approached by a security guard who literally would not let Dennis proceed into the property. It was absurd. I was actually there to visit the pit or about a job, and they were like, yeah, no, sorry. I understand, Dennis never goes into the pit because he's not even 21 yet, but he can't walk into the whole property. That's absurd. But anyway, Silver Sevens, that's the worst local casino. Maybe they'll change. I would have said Tuscany. Tuscany is another one, but we added that to the other list. All right, I'm going to stop for a minute. Do we have any feedback, any questions? Is anybody there? Should I say hello to the regulars?
Well, the regulars are here.
Everybody regular is there? How regular are we?
Yeah, there's 180 people watching.
Wow,
right
180 people? Fantastic.
Some people are calling me a weeaboo, which makes sense.
A weeaboo?
Principal Skinner says Demon Slayer. For anyone who doesn't know, you don't know, but it was a good anime. It was a good... I actually read the manga.
Really? That's your happy place? Because his happy place...
Quincy Finest, I cannot answer your question.
Really?
But no comment.
Oh, God. Is it one of those, dude?
I mean, I can't say it because this is YouTube.
Is it a girthy question?
Well, again, this is YouTube. I can't say it.
Oh, got it. All right, I understand. Yeah, we're trying not to be demonetized today. In fact, crap, I used the word. Holy crap. Hey, and we are going to have a prize for someone at the end. And we're not asking for anything. We're just going to give it away. So, yeah. You ready? Should we tell them what it is? It's going to be one of these Bitcoins with one of our koi fish. Yeah, you can't really see it. It's a gold Bitcoin. For those of us who don't have a Bitcoin or didn't get in on that action when it was pennies or a fraction of a pennies, we got these nice, but we're going to give it away at the end, okay? So you're going to have to stay tuned. You can always mute the volume, just so you know, okay? You can always mute, but there we go. And there's a koi fish. Thank you, Mar. All right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do the worst thing about Vegas, in my opinion. Keep going? Oh, I want them to just absorb that koi fish. We actually have metal coins. We have literally coins coming with this design, which are on a whole nother level. We're going to be selling those for our legal fund and our Path Forward scholarship. And I'm going to have a whole episode about our Path Forward scholarship. And right now I'm going to guilt as many people in as possible to watch that episode, because there's lots of people who need a path forward, and we want to work together to do that. So that's my whole goal. Okay, you ready? Here's the next one. And before I get to this next one, I'll just have to say I want to address a few other worst things about Vegas. I wanted to circle around.
Well, before you do.
Oh, yeah, go.
Principal Skinner has a really good question. He says, who's more bricked up, David or Sticky?
It's got to be Sticky, dude. Do you have any idea how old I am and how hard it is for me to get all bricked up? Oh, God. We're going to be demonetized. Thanks a lot for demonetizing the channel, sir.
YouTube doesn't know. YouTube doesn't know.
Oh, they don't know that? Listen, look what I got. I got right here, if you don't know, I got the Urban Dictionary.
By the way, that Urban Dictionary doesn't even have bricked up in it.
No, it's like a G-rated Urban Dictionary. It makes no sense. Why would you make an Urban G-rated? But anyways, it's a useful tool. This is last year's version. I'm guessing a new one's going to come out soon. You guys make up words so fast, no one can keep track. You know what I mean?
Words keep come out of nowhere, dude. What do you want from me?
Listen to this, but this makes sense, by the way. This is kind of a weird because you would think this would be online only, but the fact that it's got hardcover,
it makes no sense.
Limited edition book,
it makes no sense.
Fantastic. All right, we got to move on.
Ronnie, you are a regular, just so you know. Our Ronnie, by the way.
Our Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. Hello, Susan, Linda, Snapper, everybody out there. Principal Skinner, Alan, Derek. Oh my God, there's so many. Alex is better at this than me, by the way. I don't know names as much as I know gift certificates. Oh, that's my thing.
Jimmy B says, enjoying the Tycoon vlogs. Thank you so much.
We love you. Yeah, we've been enjoying just being out there. We went to Jerry's Nugget. For those of you interested in a little Jerry's Nugget action, it was a wonderful. The cafe is fantastic. The service is as you'd expect from a Jerry's Nugget, but the food is just fantastic. It's homemade. Even the mashed potatoes are great, dude. It's all homemade. It's people that have been there forever. If you get a chance, you should go and just eat at the cafe. It's worth it. It's cheap. 3 of us milked the hell out of that comp with like shrimp cocktail. Everything else is like $90. We all had dessert. Everything's like $90. Which sounds a lot, but we had a lot of stuff. We had all the top stuff. We went all in. You get a comp, dude. You got to go all in, right? And it's just a wonderful experience. A good vibe there, I have to say. You know. But anyways, all right. You ready? I'm gonna get to the next.
Really quickly, that Rascal Merlin says, "What is the worst massage parlor, and how does Daddy David know this?" I can't address that one because that's one of my unfiltered things. I actually know of a massage parlor. So the worst massage parlor for us was the one that used to abut the old dealer school. We were right in the middle of 2 massage parlors. And by the way, if you're a massage parlor and you go from regular massage to like the upgraded, special treatment, happy ending massages, do those later on when the school is closed, okay? Because not all of our students don't need to hear the sound effects associated with that kind of business. You know what I mean? So anytime we had, a late night, because we were open till 8 p.m. Ooh. Someone has a great next podcast idea.
Really?
Christian says, can we get a Things to Do While in Vegas podcast next week? I wanted to visit Vegas around May, but some input from people who live there would be useful.
Oh, we can do that easily. Yeah. We were going to do things to do for cheap or discounted things to do. For those of us who want to come on a budget or don't want to actually spend all of our money, even in all of our money on all the expensive foofy stuff. There's a lot to do in Vegas, believe it or not. They've really pulled it out. I mean, there's a lot of different places to go, things to see. It fits different narratives too. We have the Mob Museum, the Neon Museum, downtown, even the Fremont Street experience for free. There's lots of different local acts. As you saw in the vlog, there's a comedian that we ran into. It was a lot of fun.
Hilarious, by the way. He was so good.
There was a singer who was fantastic. And there was another guy on the drums. There's some really great artists, really great musicians. First Friday is a fantastic experience, and that's free. You can walk through and see art. You can interact with a lot of different artists. It's a wonderful experience here in Vegas. So there is quite a bit to do. There's Springs Preserve. Dude, I can go on. We'll have to do that. That is a great episode for sure, 100%.
Budget Vegas. Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
Budget Vegas is good.
Let's move on to the next topic.
David knows budget. David knows coupon. All right. So the next topic was a bit of commiseration for me. I hate the fact that we exist on this list. So when it comes to Vegas, the next worst thing about being in Vegas, if you're coming here with kids, is we have quite literally the worst school system ever devised. And for some reason, over the years, we have not been able to pull it out of our ass. And quite strangely enough, we are 49 out of 50 now. But if you look at the bottom, I had to include some text because it's amazing. This is quite literally ripped from a headline. How we've made progress. We're middle range progress for 10 years, by the way, just so you know, but we're still 49th out of 50. What kind of progress are we talking about here? I mean, I'm not even sure. But here's where we're at. We're 49th for academic growth, 42nd for disadvantaged youth, 42nd for high school grads. And the other biggest problem is we have a lot of teen pregnancy. We have a very high dropout rate. We de-incentivize the relationship between the schools and our students on a consistent basis, and our spending per student here in Clark County especially is low. It's very low. Believe it or not, because of the politics and the way it's structured, a lot of that money more money comes to the southern part of the state, but in terms of a per capita basis, it goes to the northern part of the state because of where our capital is and the power that Reno has and how our Constitution was set up. So these are the kinds of things that have been going on for a very long time. It's kind of us against them sort of thing. And there have been some really good people that have tried to make a difference, but it's been very, very hard. The bureaucracy here and the ideologies are far apart. We just can't get enough people around the flipping table to work it out for our children and create some kind of pathway forward. How about that? See, that's the pathway. So it's really a sad state of affairs. So here's what I was doing. I was originally going to come up with the worst high school or the worst couple high schools, but I really don't want to single out specific high schools because I happen to know, I have family members or friends of mine whose kids go there, and I don't want to single out, hey, your kid goes to the worst flipping high school in town, and then they would hate me forever, that kind of thing. But strangely enough, when I was coming off over the statistics, I realized there was one unifying factor. They all suck. Like there's not, we actually have a high school here, a working high school. We have a couple of them that rank below the detention center, Clark County Detention Center for Youth. That's how bad how can a high school be ranked lower than the actual detention center? It's really stunning that this is a thing here, but I digress. So as I was working through this, I was trying to get rid of the whole school thing and move on to water. And interesting, because water you would think is a big problem here in Las Vegas. Everyone's like, holy crap, we're going to run out of water. There's the Bellagio fountains. How do they waste all this water? Well, it turns out we're actually doing really good as a community when it comes to water conservation. So we get the least amount of water from that Colorado River Pact, and we're able to recycle it. Most of the water that we use here in Vegas somehow comes back to feed us again, which makes me really nervous every time I take a pee. So how is this water? Because that water's coming back in the buy filtered water, dude. Buy filtered water. That's the answer. But anyway, so we're doing a great job with the water. Vegas is going to be here for a lot longer than all the sensational crap. We're going to work it out, hopefully, assuming that the volcanoes don't get us, because the volcanoes, we can't plan for the volcano.
I don't think we have close volcanoes to us, do we?
Dude, the underwater volcano just came up out of the water. And just
we don't got water apparently,
and blew in some water into Santa Monica, man. Made a whole mess over there. Okay, so don't tell me you never know when the volcano is going to come up out of the ground. We might have a volcano. You don't know. You don't know these things. But anyways, the other thing is what's the other thing? Homelessness. So we went by some homeless camps. We have a homeless problem like everybody else. It's nowhere near the Los Angeles, Santa Monica homeless issue, or for those of you who live in parts of Washington State and San Francisco, and as much as it's at crisis proportions like it is everywhere else, I think that has to be addressed on its own. That's something that lays near and dear. If you don't know, I've been homeless twice in my life, And so it's one of those things that I wanted to work on. If I find any success in this world, that's really the goal. Besides creating opportunity for as many people as I can, I would love to do a private-public partnership and start addressing as the homeless problem, as someone who has, that experience, firsthand knowledge. Any of you out there that are interested in working with me on this, you just let me know. And we got to start somewhere. It's a real shame. So anyways, we're not going to put that video up because it's sad, and we're already on the worst in Vegas, so we don't want to get it any sadder. All right, anyways, ready?
Ready.
We're going to the next slide. So here's what you all hang out for. Do we have any comments about that's the local? We're going to move on to the worst on the strip, and this one's going to be exciting because we are going to we're going to let it all out. We're not gonna pull any punches on this one, sadly.
Ooh, okay.
What happened?
4 Axis Umbro gave us $10 super chat. Said for Daddy David's election fund for school board chairman.
Crap, dude. I would just get there and first I'd fire everybody, because if you can't talk, and this is the problem with I used to be in politics. And I know it takes a lot of money to be in politics, and there's a lot of dissent, but oh my God, dude, let's just do something sometime, some day of the week. Let's not just be at crossroads all the time. I mean, that's where the rest of us get screwed. All these guys working on staying in office and just pandering to, different types of people. I mean, ultimately, roads got to get built, kids got to graduate, homeless need a place to stay and transition from those kinds of realities, but it just doesn't happen. So anyways, all right. Ready? What else we got? Thank you so much, by the way. We appreciate it. That's going to go into our legal fund. Yeah, Jazzy and Cruella getting whacked. There's the worst. Anyways, moving on. Shh. That's a little inside gossip for you guys. All right. You ready?
Alan Toy asked.
Alan,
how's the water levels in Hoover Dam?
Hoover Dam sucks ass, dude. Whatever you do, don't buy a boat. Whatever. That's boats are out right now, because if you buy a boat, you're not gonna have a whole lot of places to put the boat. So Hoover Dam is getting a bit low. I had some pictures of Hoover Dam. It's a bit depressing, to be honest with you, especially if you've been on one of those poor marinas. They've had to move the marina further inward like every couple weeks. They keep running out of water. I mean, there's Lake Powell, by the way, which feeds some Arizona households. And that one's getting whacked. So definitely some problems. The good news is, the good part of this equation is the Sierra Nevada, the mountains that got a lot of snow, like torrential snow for quite a while. So we're hoping that has an impact, because that runoff should help quite a bit. But ultimately, Vegas is on top of a lot of aquifers. We're doing a great job of conservation. Desalination is coming. New technologies are coming. So I think before it's all done, this is what we do, right? As a society, we kick the can. We kick the can. We're can kickers. We kick the can. We let everybody else deal with it. The next generation, until there's no more can to kick, and we're just mired in our own swamp and just sucking deep. So hopefully we can get ahead of it before that happens. But hey, what are you going to do? Until then, let's gamble our asses off and try to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, this is the worst in Vegas. I'm going to be the worst in Vegas today, dude. That's going to be...
Okay, I didn't think you were going to go that far, but here we go. Let's go to the next slide.
Dude. Ready? That's the worst on the strip. Are you ready? Here's the worst on the strip. So the first thing we're going to do is the worst flipping people on the strip. And if you've run into this, you 100% agree. They have these monks. So they have these guys that go ahead and so there was another YouTube channel that did like a little episode about them about a year ago. But sadly, the YouTube channel kind of got whacked or whacked itself. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I was going to give them credit, but they really don't exist as a channel anymore. But so they buy these suits from Amazon for like $30. That literally the monk suit that you're seeing there, it's all nonsense. So I have had I've interacted with these guys on the strip. So what they'll do is they push these pamphlets into your hand, or they put this necklace, or bracelet over your hand, like real quickly, and then they'll hold on to you and they'll say like a prayer. This is what happened to me. Said like a prayer, and then he turns his hand over and he's asking for money. And they started a $20 bill. He wants $20? Like, first of all, I don't want your bracelet. I have no idea what your pamphlet is. I didn't ask for any of this interaction. And now you want $20? You went all in? I mean, genius, right? Oh, my God.
Have you met these guys?
It's terrible. And so what happens is if you ignore them, by the way, they make an example of you. And this is the thing that got worse. I was actually with some friends of mine, and then the next thing you know, this guy is just like haunting us. He's traveling behind us, walking behind us. They're very, very persistent, as if you're like, stealing their stuff. Whatever you do, avoid them like the plague. I mean, unless you're really, first of all, they're fake. They're not actual monks. They're not raising money for any kind of charity. And if they are, they're going to have, something around their neck. Even those guys have been faking it. There was a famous case out here not too long ago of someone who had the whole, I belong to this hospital and I'm trying to raise money in my boot and this kind of thing. And of course, it's all nonsense. So if you really want to give money, outside of, the firemen that actually have the big old fire truck parked there with the boot, okay, those I believe. Kind of hard to yank the fire truck out as a prop, right? So I'm all in on the firemen. And then once you give to them, they give you a little sticker so that, you don't have to keep giving at every single intersection, this kind of thing. But everybody else, I'm going to donate to the charity that can responsibly sort of provide the funds, provide the meals, whatever the case is. I mean, most of these people that are panhandling are looking for drug money. They need, they need money for beer, whatever the case is. So go to the source. I mean, go to the source. That's all I can tell you. As much as, I feel bad. There's been a few issues. There's a guy with the dogs is the one that kills me the most. The people that panhandle, they have this poor dog with them. I can't not give money to them, even though I'm not so sure the dog is getting any real benefit, but it's kind of hard to move on from that. But anyways, these monks are terrible. I'm not sure why they haven't been chased off the strip. But they're very aggressive. There's been some issues where, they've had altercations because the minute they give you something or put something in your hand, they want their money. So at first they're smiling and happy and talking to you in some monkish language. That's not really a monkish language, trying to make you believe that they're monks. But ultimately, they want their money. That's all they want. They want their $20 or $10 or $5, but whatever it is. But anyway, so stay away from the monks. Those are the worst people on the strip. Not the casino managers, not the dealers. These guys here. All right, ready?
Really quickly, for all the 225 of you guys watching, thank you so much. Just leave a like, and at the end, we're going to be doing a giveaway.
Yep, we're just going to give the giveaway. We're not going to ask for anything. We're going to do organic engagement. If you like us, you like us. If you don't like us, click away now. Click away now. Move on. And by the way, that t-shirt idea, the cash grab t-shirt, love it. Got to get one of those, 100%. All right.
We're going to do it. Anyways, here's the next slide.
Ready? Yeah, I'm going to have some hate on this one. My two least favorite casinos for different reasons. So the Tropicana, for the reason that it just sucks. It really does. It used to be my favorite casino in town. It used to be my favorite hotel. So when they built the new tower, the Havana Tower, however you pronounce it, they used to have these garden units, a motel basically, that you could get your room. And the difference was one had bathtubs and the other had stand-up showers. And so if you frequented the Tropicana, they would give you, you were part of the 99 club. I forget what it was. It wasn't the 69 club, it was the 99 club. And so you got these discounts associated with the rooms, a room rate. Of course, this was before they had resort fees and all the other nonsense. But I stayed away from the new tower because it was way the hell back there. It's quite the walk, by the way. So if you're planning on staying at the Tropicana and for some reason it books you into that Havana Tower, be prepared to walk, or better yet, get yourself a bellman. Here's the problem. You probably won't find a bellman. This place has literally descended into madness. The landscaping, we have a ton of pictures. We went there and we took pictures. They're depressing as hell. I heard that the landscapers will let go. So someone on the inside said, yeah, they haven't had landscapers in a while, which is why the grounds, like if you pull up to the property and look around, most casinos you look around, everything is nice. I mean, they want to make the property look as attractive as possible so you come in. The Tropicana, not so much, dude. I don't think at some point they just stopped caring. Of course, they've had a few different owners, so they've been in transition a little bit, and they finally have been bought by the Bally's group. So that was only recently, and I'm not even sure if that transaction is closed. So nothing against you guys. So maybe you come in and clean it all up, and it's fantastic, and we're looking forward to our brand new Tropicana. But man, outside of the people, there are some really wonderful people in that work at the Tropicana, and then there's some boneheads that work there too. But the place is literally descended. The pool is only like half open. It used to be the whole Laguna pool, which was famous. They had a craps game, a floating craps game in the pool that was famous. There's even a picture of it in the GM's office, who is no longer the GM, who at one point had a conversation with me about how they had enough business. They had so much business. They had more customers than they knew what to do with. And how dare I suggest a promotion with Casino Quest. But anyways, this isn't just a petty, arbitrary commentary on this casino. All you have to do is visit it for yourself. It's on one of the busiest intersections in the world, in the entire world, maybe other than Times Square. There are the most hotel rooms on this intersection than any other intersection in the entire world, the planet Earth. And somehow this place can't afford the landscaping and all the upgrades that need to be done. I mean, if you go in there now and you take the pathway over to the Havana Tower, you'll see like there's not a lot of merchants there. It's a very sort of lonely walk. You won't see the level of pedestrians you used to see. I mean, the place is not a lot of fun. So anyways, Tropicana, shame on you for letting yourself go like that.
Jimmy B asked, who owns the Trop?
So Bally's. So interestingly, and this is a kind of a weird thing. So Bally's on the Strip is no longer owned by Bally's. It has no actual rights to the Bally's IP. That is now, which is one of the reasons why some of us thought that there was a new casino owner looking at taking over that Bally's property, because they're going to have to figure out something else to do with the Bally's name. They can't keep that name there. So it used to be an amalgamation of companies that had a role in the Bally's part, not just Caesars. So the Caesars read, it was very confusing. If you read it and you try to sort of drill down onto the ownership, it gets a little bit, it gets a little wanky. But now this new Bally's company has the rights to all Bally's. They are literally like the original pinball Bally's maker that evolved into slots, that then became some other company and another company. Now this new Bally's is all the Bally's in one. And at some point, a few of the Bally's were scattered around, and so that's how the hotel remained Bally's, that kind of thing. But now the Bally's ownership owns the Trop lock, stock, and barrel. So they bought it from Penn Gaming, I believe. And they're going to move forward with that. What I will say is they have their work cut out. There's no doubt. Amazingly, Tropicana spent a bunch of money back in the day, not too long ago, to retrofit the hotel. And if you drove by there, you always wondered, like, what the hell were they retrofitting? It didn't look like much of an upgrade, but they spent a lot of money doing it. And so the expectations was high, but the delivery was poor, to say the least. So, if you go online and you look up sort of the rooms, you look up the experience, you'll notice a lot more people recently have not had the best experience there. And I used to have the best experience there. That was literally the place that I loved the most. I always wanted to work there when I was younger. I auditioned there probably 9 or 10 times easily. I was always told no, but I was very persistent. I thought that eventually, given enough time and patience, I would finally work there. But it was tough to get in. It was a really good job back in the day. And it just didn't evolve that way. But anyway, so the Tropicana is a thing. So the next one is the Alardi's, Casino Royale. So for those of you who have been in Vegas a while, the Frontier was owned by the Alardi family. They eventually sold the Frontier to the guy that now owns Treasure Island. He bought the Frontier, and then he swapped that property for Treasure Island, and then the Alardi's were essentially no more, other than the fact that they still own the Casino Royale. Casino Royale is sort of squeezed in there on the Strip. It's got like a Denny's, the White Castle is there, this kind of thing. And I will say, interestingly, all of my friends that have worked there loved working there, had a really good experience. Not so much at the Frontier. I auditioned at the Frontier too, and I failed my audition for not paying color for color. And boy, it was so many weird stories about that place. But anyways, Casino Royale has the smallest room. Maybe not the smallest room. There might be a motel with a small room, but at 280 square feet, they're really flipping small. Very few amenities, unless you like eating at Denny's. So could have been a great room for me. I go right downstairs and get comp Denny's, dude. And but yeah, so it's a very small room. The other really small rooms that I guess I would have put it in the worst aisle, but I haven't been in there recently, so I can't vote against it recently, but the Golden Gate the rooms used to be so flippin' small. I'm assuming they are still pretty small. They supposedly they have some of the 10 original rooms that were part of the gate, but they've renovated the place, and I'm sure they had to improve like the pathways to the rooms. So the big joke at the Golden Gate back in the day was if you were too big a person, you just couldn't get around the bed. The bathroom door and the way that it worked and how small it was, it was just a rough spot to be in, to both use the bed and the bathroom, that kind of thing. But I'm sure that's changed. That place has won architecture awards. We just went by it the other day. It looks fantastic from the outside. What's been done with it in terms of evolution of the gate has been really wonderful. So until I've seen them again, I can't really judge them negatively. But those used to be like the smallest, the worst rooms, that I. But anyways, but Casino Royale, the worst rooms, not necessarily the worst experience, but it's such a small room to be on the Strip that I can see where it would be voted. Yeah. See you, buddy. Are we closing?
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Do you want
Yeah, that's fine. We can close it up. All right. So as you can imagine, it's been a little slow here today. We did well. We had some reservations. We had some people come in, but Sunday's a bit slower.
James asks, there's no resort fees at Casino Royale, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's one of the benefits of staying there. Which, by the way, if this wasn't a worst list, what's one of the worst places we have heard of staying is the Westgate. So the Westgate sucks if you're checking in at the check-in time because the waits are outrageous. Actually, almost any time of the day, the rates are outrageous. But if you stay there more than once, and I've never actually played there or haven't played there in decades until it was LVH or the Hilton the last time I played there. They waive the resort fees. You get lots of different specials depending upon the time of the year where they don't charge you resort fees. And the rooms are a great size. They can be oversized. They have a lot of interesting amenities. The restaurants there are kind of oofies. But for what you get for the price, so I was recently offered a roommate of $40 for like their mini suite. And when you get there, if they have these suites available, you can upgrade for a $20 bill, and in many cases avoid the resort fee just by asking for them to waive the resort fee, and they'll do it for you. So I'm not a hater on the Westgate Hotel, even though it's considered one of the least favorite properties, either on the Strip or close to the Strip. And for some of the other properties like the Days Inn attached to the Wild Wild West, that was another one I looked at to be the worst. It's not rated well, but it's a motel. It's a strip motel. It attaches to, kind of a dive casino. It's actually owned by Station Casinos. It's not the worst place. It's one of the last places left. They give you a coupon book. They have a Denny's attached to it. The rooms are about the same size you get as Casino Royale, but the nice thing is they open right onto this street, so you can just pull up, and it's really easy access. So for me, that's not the worst thing. A lot of times people complain for things that, where the bar is like, here. If you're going to a Days Inn, expect a Days Inn. That's kind of a thing. If you're going to stay on the Strip, maybe your expectations are a little higher. You see a lot of these, bigger rooms, that kind of thing. And one of the days, I have this very extensive spreadsheet where I collected a lot of data about all the rooms, all the amenities in the rooms, everything associated with the hotels. Maybe I'll share that with you guys. We can have a whole episode and break down everything to expect on the Strip. All right, what else do we got? Anything else?
Any question, guys?
Keep going?
Keep going.
All right. We're going to get to the worst casino.
Does the $20 trick ever work?
The $20 upgrade?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, it works at the Westgate. There's a few places. You can oftentimes, listen, all you got to do is talk. A lot of people go into hotels, they get to the front desk, and they assume that everything is fixed. It's not fixed. When we went to Florida, all we did was ask and talk. We got upgraded to a suite for free. I mean, she said, listen, we have extras. We'll go see. And it doesn't hurt to ask. It's amazing what front desk people can do with the press of a button. In many cases, just for a little bit of an amenity fee or an upgrade fee, or for nothing for that matter, they can get you upgraded and get you situated. So ask. Here in Vegas, 100%. There's quite a few different ways of finding discounts. And that could be another thing we talk about. One of the best conversations, so I've had a lot of people that worked at the front desk, is getting your room booked with meals. Used to be the way to really find great discounts. Booking your room along with dinner, show, and sort of putting all those three things together.
Snapper's asking about the Aztec Inn.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of Aztec Inn. Are they an hourly motel service, sir? No, they have a little casino attached to them. I mean, it's a small motel. So some of those that are either towards downtown or on the strip, I mean, they're very accessible. If you like to really just unpack your car and move in, I mean, that's a place. The biggest takeaway I have for staying at a lot of the casinos. Some of the worst parts about these casinos are so flippin' big. The MGM, it could be a mile to your room. You might have to walk damn near a mile with your luggage from the parking garage, underneath, by all the stores, everything else, up to the registration desk, and then wait in line, and then once they're ready, then over to whatever tower that you're at. It could be quite the process. The greatest thing about the MGM is that it's a whole flippin' city. Once you're settled, you never leave to live. You never have to, leave. You can do everything there. You can actually pick a new place to eat every day for a week and not run out of places to go. But that's also a takeaway for me. I hate that. I want to be able to, drive up and be as close to my room as possible. The Westgate has some rooms, has a tower that's pretty close to the parking lot where you can get right out and go in. But that's the thing. You know what was one of the worst hotels I was going to put on there, and I didn't, was the Oyo.
Susan is talking about the Oyo.
Oh, yeah, Oyo sucks, dude. The thing about the Oyo is you can't even get past the garage, so you don't even know what the hotel is like. Because the garage, you pull into the garage and you want to leave. I don't understand how they let that garage go to such... The garage just looks like an absolute nightmare. Then you go into the property and then you're like, okay, we got to go. That's it. So that's Oyo. So Oyo used to be Hooters, and before that it was the San Remo. And as the San Remo, fantastic property. It's so disappointing. I don't understand how they think that people enjoy. I guess if you just start scrolling down looking for cheap places to stay. So when Vegas sells out, you have no choice, right? You end up at the Oyo for some reason. But there's another property that's literally has descended into madness. I'm not sure. The pit there is terrible. I mean, we don't send any dealers there. They have
dark
a party
in there,
pit.
by the way, too.
It is pretty dark. I never understood how Hooters. It was a Hooters hotel, and yet they didn't have the largest Hooters. The largest Hooters was at Sunset Station or Green Valley. How do you not have the biggest Hooters? Oh God, that could go south. Listen, I'm talking about the restaurant. I'm talking about. Stop laughing. I'm talking about the damn restaurant. I mean, if you're gonna have the Hooters hotel and casino, you should have the biggest Hooters, right? How do you not have the biggest Hooters? That makes no sense. I never understood the logic behind that. I'm like, listen, this is the smallest Hooters I've ever seen. Why is this a thing? Anyways, moving on. You ready?
Okay, I got a couple questions.
Oh God. Oh no.
What is the worst escort service?
That's a question?
That's a question.
Oh God. You know what?
And they're asking, how do you know, David? How do you know?
So 15 years ago, I could have answered that question. Yeah. I could have gotten into it. I don't know how the escort agencies work now, but I don't want to touch that with a stick.
Dave N asks, when is CQ Hotel coming?
God, I can't wait. We're going to be a hostel first. We're going to be a hostel with 4 rooms and a bike rack. And that's going to be, you're going to come in, it's going to be $29 and not including the bike rack fee. You got to pay for that bike rack fee. I mean, that's going to be a nice bike rack fee. And then it's going to be a $40 resort fee. But you're going to have started with the $20, $29. We're going to hit you with the resort fee when you get there. And the resort fee is going to include an extra blanket, some place to graffiti your name, and that's it. Maybe a hug from Dennis. You don't know. But yeah, resort fee. So we'll, yeah. Oh,
that's going to be an expensive upgrade.
No, that's why the resort fee is going to be twice as much as the actual room fee. And for those young people out there who don't know what a hostel is, your parents, those of us, used to ride bikes places, or we would ride, Route 66 cross country. And many of us couldn't afford to stay at an actual hotel. So we would stay at a hostel, which is sort of like dorm living on the road. You know what I mean?
I thought you were about to say your parents probably made you at a hostel. Anyways, Principal Skinner says, Vegas Tycoons, room reviews, and all the expense room rates will be a business expense.
At
David
Casino
approved.
Quest? Oh, 100%.
No, he means we should do room reviews for Vegas Tycoon.
Oh, we could do room reviews. Yeah, for Vegas. We're going to do...
That's part of the
back
future, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go and hit up the rooms. The thing is, though, is we're not going to let the hotel host us. We got to go in there guns blazing. We got to be honest. We tried that before. We went to a property not too long ago, and they were like, yeah, come on up, and it sucked. And then, you can't say it sucked because you got to kiss all this ass on the way up and down the elevator. You know what I mean? I want to go in and just be like, listen, this is the honest to God truth. And I'm going to be I'm not going to look for the negatives. My bar is pretty flippin' low. And obviously things appeal to people for different reasons. So we'll start with the facts. But, we want to be as honest as possible.
This is an interesting question. One with the stone says, is there any weed-friendly casinos?
They're all weed-friendly, dude. No one's kicking you out. I mean, this is the thing. Listen, start in the garage. Every garage smells like skunk attacks. So that's where everyone smokes. If you smoke in the room, you're probably going to get hit with a fee. And someone's going to complain. It's the nature of the beast. So you got to be careful. I would say, so the casinos started out, so the smoking lounges was going to be a thing. And so some casinos were considering that. But unfortunately, because of federal laws that are still in place and the fact that casinos still want to be able to deposit their cash, they've stayed away. If it wasn't for banking issues, I think the casinos would be all in. And of course, I guess licensing issues, but state licensing, you can't be too opposed to it because weed is legal. They don't even use it as a reason to deny you employment. So employers now cannot deny you for a positive marijuana test, unless of course you're an ambulance driver, a police officer, these kinds of things, right? So, my thought is that if the banks are able to legitimately deposit their money, that wouldn't be a thing, follow the money kind of thing. So at some point, the Fed's got to give in, dude, because the drug war, in terms of pot, I mean, we're all in at this point. So I think we should move past that. But as far as specific hotels, no, they all have policies, where you're technically not allowed to smoke on the property. You're not allowed to smoke in the garage. You're not allowed to smoke in your car. You're supposed to be smoking at your house. And for those of you who come here and go to Planet Hollywood, or not Planet Hollywood, what's it called? Planet 13. Technically, there's nowhere for you to smoke it. So there are some smoke lounges opening up, right? But there's really nowhere. But of course, that doesn't stop anybody. And the cops don't waste their time harassing people, coming from those, you know what I mean? And the security guard don't waste their time, as far as I know, harassing people in the garages. So everybody sits in the garage, and they work it out. But the rooms will charge you. The rooms will definitely charge you if they smell the smoke or the smoke's in the room after the fact. They'll follow up and there'll be a fee on your bill for $100, a couple $100 that they consider a cleaning or filter fee, this kind of thing.
Christian asks, any super expensive / worst places to eat or near the strip? We're about to get to that, by the way.
Oh, it's next, dude. We're going to be roasted. And this guy's going to hate me, and I love him. I love all his stuff, by the way. I even love his oven. But your restaurant sucks, dude. Your restaurant absolutely sucks.
We'll get to that in just a second.
Can I get to that?
Just trust us. We'll get there.
First of all, let's finish up with the casino thing.
Let me finish a couple more things because I have some super chats.
Ooh, super chats.
Miguel gave us $2. He said Caesar's properties have been deteriorating.
Yeah, 100%, dude. By the way, Caesar's properties. Okay, see, this is where I get unfiltered. The only property they've been investing money in, and by the way, they invest money in all their properties, so don't sue me. So I'm not making a declaration of fact. I'm an opinionated individual.
This is all in a dream.
This was in a dream. You go into Caesar's the property, and there's a little dust here, the dust there. It definitely looks like, but they've been building all these towers, and that's their jewel, that's their gem, that's the property they want everybody to come to and play all the big money, right? But you walk into like a Palace or a Bally's and you see less of that. And that's the thing. So for those of us that like to frequent Vegas, I mean, I think it's time for these casinos to really go all in and, start cleaning house. So let's get some housekeeping going. Let's get those, rails cleaned up. Let's get some new tables, new felts. I mean, let's tidy up the place a little bit. You know what I mean? Because there's some Resorts World is like clean, crispy clean. Like, wow, brand new, spanking clean. Then we have, the Fontainebleau. As much as that's been an eyesore for a long time, I have a feeling when it opens, it's going to be a fantastic looking property. But we need to go and, upgrade. Circus, for example. That was one of the casinos I was looking at. We love Circus. They've been doing a great job by our dealers. So, we don't want to put them out. But that's a place I think that they're slowly reinvesting, and they're figuring out what to do with that property. So we're going to give them a second. It's the same way the Trop. I think the Trop has hope now because I think any new owner is going to want to, apply themselves. And this is what brings us to the worst casino list. You ready?
Well, I got one more
casinos.
super chat.
Tied. More?
Joey501 gave us £10, Ed, for the legal fund.
Thank you, Jesus. By the way, we're winning that badly.
Diana said, "Where's the PayPal for the B-Day fund?"
So a PayPal for B-Day? Wow. Man, you guys are fantastic. That I didn't think of. What we have on our CEG Dealer School.
I could do the Casino Quest one for the B-Day one.
You have the casino? Yeah, you could send them that. We do have. Yeah, we have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you just put B-Day in the notes, it'll go to his damn B-Day. I mean, listen, it's gonna be a lot of liquor on that bill, on that license. We have the Path Forward thing for our school, our sponsorship. That's a PayPal. That's with CEG. So that's on the thing. By the way, those of you who are students, guess what? Next week, Wednesday, haircut day. And yeah, we take our school out to get haircuts every couple Wednesdays when we have a minute and the resources. So that's what we're doing. All right, what else?
Just keep going here.
I can go to the next because I'm waiting on you because I got a slide, dude.
You tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go ahead. Punch it up there.
Is it the casino one?
Yeah, the casino one. Wow, the first one's a no-brainer, and the second one breaks my heart, just so you know. I had to put it on there because if I wouldn't be doing it justice. But Tuscany, oof, as a casino, I would just say, listen, I have had the worst experiences there, and we have had some of the worst stories that have come back to us. So they no longer have a table games pit, rightly so. And they contacted us on numerous occasions, and I would basically say no. Yeah, we're not sending dealers there because the dealers, they had a supervisor who put their hands on a dealer at one point, which now they have no table games pits, so that's no longer a thing. But I started out when Tuscany first opened. This is another area that I live next to, and I really enjoyed. They had a wonderful players club there. And it was this old school players club where they had this big old bin that they would rotate on Fridays and pull a name out, and then they would have different things they would give away. They had this very cool, what you can see here this is sort of a view of like what used to be there was a sports book. It wasn't much of a sports book, to be honest with you. It had like 2 stools and a screen. But off of that, what you're seeing is back into like this. They had this little bar around that leads further into where they had this cafe. They had this Italian restaurant there. It's very nice. I mean, another hotel, another casino that can use a little bit of loving and maybe some better management. Maybe they're working on that. I'm not sure, but not the best casino to be in. Now, the other one it really breaks my heart because it was my favorite place to work ever. When the Marnell owned it, it was the Rio. And to see how far, and I know a lot of you have stayed there. We've had a lot of fans that have stayed. They have big rooms, so it's all suites. That was Marnell's thing. He built every single room as a suite. They have some really nice 1,500 square foot wraparound suites with like 270-degree views of the Strip. I mean, some really fantastic rooms. The rooms are just gross. Oh my God, I can't believe what they have done in terms of like not reinvesting. However, again, there's a new property owner. Caesars is still going to manage the floor for the next couple of years, and then it's going to revert to these new owners. And let's just pray that this casino gets some love because it's not doing all that well. So I literally just had some friends there not too long ago, and I guess there was a power issue, and so they were excluded from their machines for like a half hour while they worked out the power to the floor. And just getting somebody, when I was in there last, I tried to get someone to cash me out of a machine. It wouldn't put a coupon. It took like a half hour. So I would say just in general, these are 2 properties I would avoid until they get upgraded. But that's, again, my personal opinion. That's it. It's really, God, putting this Rio on the list, I felt was just that was so tough for me. I really love this property. We walked through it the other day, and
well, it's got to be nothing like you remember.
No, it's nothing like I remember. I mean, the rooms are oofy. The place is oofy. It's a lot of oofy. Taylor, thank you for that hat, by the way. It's a lot of oofiness walking through there. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
I would have put the Trop. The thing about the Trop is that the Trop does have all the newest machines, and it's easy to get around. There's a lot of cozy for those of us that like to belly up into a nice little cozy area of the casino and be excluded from everything else. The Trop has a lot of that. Has a lot of that old school kind of charm. So I appreciate that because at my heart, besides being a table game dealer, I'm a slot player. And I don't like a lot of distractions. I like to have fun with my machine. And the Trop does have that in spades. And by the way, they have a really wonderful veteran-forward slot club with some really nice people that run the casino floor there. So not the worst casino, the worst hotel, but not the worst casino, or one of the worst hotels. Anyways, all right. What else you got?
No, let's.
And not everybody's gonna agree. I'm happy to hear your commentary. I know a lot of people have some definitely have some different views.
Shane asks, what is the worst players club?
Oh God, there's a couple of them. Are you ready? In terms of points, Silverton is probably the worst, one of the worst players club. Caesars not so much. So the great thing about Caesars is you can really generate some free meals and some comp value, especially moving up in levels and tiers. And ultimately, being a Caesars customer is not the worst thing because they have a lot of properties, a lot of access. You can go to a lot of places and get some great rewards. The waiving the resort fees is not one of them, by the way, because then they charge it to you piecemeal and it doesn't work out. So if you are what is it, 7 Diamond or whatever it is, the top tier, be careful of that because it sounds like a great thing where they waive resort fees, but not really, because if you go for Wi-Fi or go to access any of the other amenities, they charge you separately. And when they charge you separately, or if you're really engaged with the property, like you're going there for the spa and everything else, you end up actually paying more. So some of you may want to pay the resort fee up front. Just saying, just be careful and look that up. But I would say on a points level, a lot of things have changed, of course, but my personal least favorite slot clubs have been Silverton and what else? I mean, the other ones are very, for the most part, slot clubs have become very competitive. Quite stunningly, many of the slot clubs you'll run into on the Strip are very competitive. MGM slot club is very competitive with Caesars slot club. The other one that gets a lot of negativity is the Venetian. The Venetian doesn't have the best paybacks. No one goes to the Venetian for the best paybacks, though. So that's kind of like a misnomer. Like, if you're at the Venetian and you can afford to stay there, you're probably not there. You're not expecting the slots to give you, like, the best rewards, right? So it kind of is what it is sort of thing. But what else? Man, we could, by the way, I could have a podcast dedicated to that. Like, literally players clubs up and down the Strip.
Well, Crispy asked, worst studies and best studies.
Oh my God, it's my people right there. That's my okay. Do you want the West Dotties in terms of crime rate, or the worst Dotties in terms of the best, the worst luck? So there is a Dotties that's just past Texas Station on Lake Mead, which is probably been hit the most. I don't know. There's also one on East Charleston by Lowe's that's also suffered a few break-ins, some challenges there with the local population. And the best Dotties that I've experienced is the one that's on Tropical, that's out there by the Sam's Club. If you guys, and it gets a lot of money in the can. That's the thing. So I look for the best Dotties as the Dotties that get trafficked a lot and get a lot of investment, because those are the machines, or those are the Dotties that hit for those big fat $200,000 jackpots. If you go to the grinder Dotties that are on like a Maryland Parkway and East Charleston, there's not a lot of investment being made in those machines. They tend not to do so well. But yeah, oh God, I don't want to make that podcast because it'd be like 3 people watching that one. But yeah, so Dottie's now is Bourbon Street, Margaritaville. Did I lose anybody? Am I?
You lost everybody. Every single person who's left after that.
You're gonna have to send that personally to me. I have a feeling like. By the way, so Dottie's, I go to Dottie's, as you know. It's hard for me to get away from Dottie's because the paybacks on the machines. If you're there literally just to win whatever it is, video poker, Keno, they literally have the best paybacks. But I will tell you this: Station Casinos is very competitive as well. Boyd Properties, like Aliante is owned by Boyd now, and Aliante is sort of competitive too. But you go to Aliante, far north Las Vegas, for really comfort zone. If you like to have a big fat machine, it's all your own, that's a great place to be, especially if you want to be plugged in to a bigger network like Boyd Properties, so where you get the benefit. Station Casinos at the 2 cent mark has some of the best paybacks in town on almost everything. And then of course you're plugged into all the station network, and you can get comps. You can get a lot of comps. I would put Strat in there. Strat's always sending me. You acquire a lot of great food comps, ride shares to go to the Strat, but they don't have all the machines that I like. So the only 20 card there is quarters, and there's just me putting $5 a spin is just not coupon friendly kind of thing. So I'm not there to like whack Keno every time. I'm there to just chill, and that's just quite the investment. So minus a YouTube channel, I can't find myself going. But anyways, all right, what else is there?
Well, for Access Sunbro, another $5 said, everyone watching, hit the like button.
Yes, we'd appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Dave N says, best strip club for the money.
Oh, best strip club? Oh, God, that was on my worst thing. So, I mean, it really just depends where you're going. You know, it's interesting how the library has gotten. Library is 18 plus. It's all nude now. It's a juice bar. Yeah, I mean, that's a juice bar, you know.
Oh, some people are asking best and worst for roulette, best and worst
yeah,
for
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
But,
we're going to have to throw that in there because, after all, we're a table game channel. Go.
But I want to get to the next slide because I have so much to say.
Really? Oh, yeah, I know you do. So, yeah, I'll let you start this one. I would love to hear your commentary on this, and I'll add to that. You ready? They're going to hate us, dude. Emerald Lagasse is never going to be nice to us again. We're off his Christmas list. Here it is.
So we went to Monaco, and look, here's my simple review. It's dog shit. Okay.
Now, careful now. Careful now.
Look, okay. The thing is, you would think because it's fine. It's one of the most expensive dinners that David and I have ever had, and you would think that the service would be great, the food would be great. No. We didn't even get the bread until we got cold bread.
Yeah.
We got the bread what was it, like 30, 40 minutes in?
So interestingly that he didn't realize that the bread, so they serve that, I don't know if you guys have had that sort of foofy pastry bread that's all like billowy, you know, and it's supposed to come out warm. I mean, because once it gets cold, it sort of collapses and there's not much to it. But that's their thing. They come out with this it's this French multi-layered, you know, sort of pastry bread. And so I've eaten at a few restaurants that have this, and when they brought it to us, it was really cold. It had already collapsed, and it was nothing like what it was supposed to be. So I took Dennis here as a thank you so I recently promoted him. He became lead admin as opposed to regular admin. And he took over a lot of responsibility. And I had never been to a famous person's restaurant before. And so, you know, I just wanted to go. Emerald Lagasse, I've always been a big fan. For those of you out there, you know who he does. He throws in he goes, bam! You know, that's what I like that. He goes,
sourdough
bam.
bread is what you're talking about?
Is that, I think so. Well, I don't think it's a sourdough. It's this pastry. It's like it's just this foofy French bread. I used to go to this French restaurant. They used to have it there all the time. And I used to work for a pastry chef, by the way, one of my other jobs. And the reason why is because they roll it in all this butter, right? It rolled around, butter. Anyways, man, it was so disappointing. It was a $250 dinner, and the service was delayed. The guy was so condescending as well when I asked about the bread. And I was trying to be very nice, and you know, we're not used to going to these expensive restaurants, so I was a little out of my depth. And I'm like, well, excuse me, but is this bread supposed to be like this? Because I knew it wasn't. But, you know, and he's like, well, sir, we might be able to help you with this. I mean, it was just like they sat us at the little kids table too, by the way, because my guess is I get this all the time. No one thinks I can afford anything, or maybe I just have coupon, you know, tattooed on my forehead or something. And so we get sat at this little table, you know, right in the middle of all this trafficked areas. And the waiter didn't seem all that excited to serve us, and everything was late. The drinks were late. That was late. The food was really mediocre. And for $250 at this, you know, Emerald Lagasse's steakhouse.
No. Here, let's go into more detail. They gave me a steak with nothing. It was just a steak, by the way. It's a filet mignon.
Yeah.
There was no sauce, no nothing. They didn't even ask me, by the way. They didn't even say, hey, do you want a sauce? They were just like, here you go.
Because it was supposed to have butter. It was supposed to be buttered. This was one of Dennis's first time at a high-end steak, so he didn't even realize you had to order the sauce separate. You know, this place charges you for everything. Everything's a la carte, obviously. So you know how you go to the steakhouse and it comes with some type of either sauce or butter by default, and then if you want some other kind of sauce, you got to order the sauce. Well, Dennis didn't know that you needed to order the sauce. So, I asked him about it after the steak was done. I'm like, well, it'll just come with butter. But when the steak got there wasn't much. If they had put butter on it, there was no obvious signs that it had any butter. Yeah, it was very disappointing, man. It was really unfortunate.
And for $250, the food was average at best.
Yeah. anyways, so that was our fine dining experience. That was his first truly expensive restaurant, and that was a terrible way to go. So let's hope your party works out better, young man.
It's okay. We went to Ferraro's after, I believe. Well,
Yeah.
not the same day, but
Not the same day.
Yeah.
Ferraro's ended up being the go-to. We really enjoy that. As far as fine Italian dining, if you guys haven't been to Ferraro's, in fact, that mall also has Shaq's chicken.
Big chicken, yeah, big chicken,
chicken.
wonderful.
It's and Ferraro's is really fantastic. The cheesecake there, it's this old-fashioned Italian restaurant. It's been there forever, and the food is literally out of this world. The steaks, everything is very good. But anyways, all right, ready? Here's the next one we went to. You ready? Casual dining. The worst casual dining on the Strip. Yeah, look this one up.
Oh,
This
I see
one
the
was-
slide. I see the slide.
Yeah, this one sucked too. Oh God, another celebrity chef, Robert Irvine's. Of course, it's at the Trop, dude. This place, look up the reviews. It's not just us. They have this sort of signature dish. We probably should have ordered that, but we ordered some other stuff. It was really poor.
Well, we ordered this rib and it was gummy. Like you couldn't chew on it.
It was supposed to be. That's right. It was. I forget what it's named after. A certain city, Memphis barbecue thing.
It was
this.
it was something. But anyways, it was so hard to chew. You were like just tugging on it. You're trying to just rip it apart. It didn't work out.
Yeah, no, it was good. By the way, the staff there, fantastic. Everybody was very nice. They had a nice seating area. But let me just say that whole place needs some love. It's very disappointing. Some of these celebrity destinations aren't what they're cracked up to be. And of course, you pay. You pay a premium for this experience. You're not expecting sort of the low bar, right? So these are the two worst experiences we've had eating. Recently, we ate at the local Italian place, Solito Posto. Boy, that was disappointing, dude.
Well, okay, to be fair, Solito Posto was good up until that last time we went there, and clearly something happened with management. I don't know, but it just didn't go well.
Dude, 8 managers come to our table and still don't have any service. Not 8, 4. 4 managers. Hello, how are you? We're here to provide great service. There's no service. And anyways, all right, ready? What do we got? Anybody? I know there's going to be a lot of different opinions. All right, see, buddy. A lot of different opinions on the food source.
John says, I feel like you guys need to do a food review segment. Coming soon to Vegas Tycoon.
Yeah, Vegas Tycoon. We're gonna do D&Ds again, so you guys will get local on the Strip. So we've eaten out a lot of I eat out a lot, sadly. I can't cook to save my life, and I'd rather not just eat pastries and cereal all day. So there's a few places that we go to a lot. Like we're a Thai. We love Thai food on the way. It's right on the way home near the school.
But okay, I feel vindicated.
Really?
Because Picto says Demonaco was absolutely sucks. We got married just before Christmas, made a reservation, told them it was for our wedding. They sucked at waiting stations. Waiters was boring.
Yep.
Food was average.
Yep. And now, and by the way, so let's also be 100% transparent. Like there was no lack of staff, so it wasn't because they lack staff. Because there are some restaurants getting whacked on the staff, and but this place was just lots of staff, people running around. When we complained about the bread, and we said something about the bread, clearly I know for a fact that this bread has to be served warm. Even if it's served late, it still has to be served warm. And I don't mind waiting for it if it's just warm. But he went and conversed with some dude. And you could, it wasn't good, man. Anyways, all right. Well, I won't even go into it. So, all right. You ready? I'm glad. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. It still gets really good ratings, but I think more because it's Emerald Lagasse's place.
Well, we got to go to Golden Steer. Everyone's telling us to go to Golden Steer.
Dude, I have heard wonderful things about Gold. The very fact you have to wait 2 weeks to get in there, that says a lot. We got to go to Golden Steer.
Dave N says, Ellis Island does not disappoint. That's true. What is it? The front yard? Really good place to go.
Dude, Ellis Island has fantastic food. There's Metro Pizza. There's their cafe is great. Wednesdays, they used to have an industry night. I don't know if they still do. They might still do. Where there used to be lines out the door, people waiting to have their barbecue. Their barbecue chicken was literally fantastic. And they used to have this sort of special service. And it's always been that. I mean, that place is. We had a couple customers here today just talking because me and Alex send a lot of people to Ellis. They have lower limit tables, $5 games, $300 limits, of course. So not a lot of big. But if you're going just for the food and the entertainment, it's not a bad place to be. I get it. It doesn't have the same. Some of our our upper. If you come with more money, maybe you're not looking to be at a place like that. But it's a cozy little place. It really is. And the food's great. That Yard House is fantastic. They have this, if you go there, you have to get the cheese and meat platter. And I'm not a big cheese and meat guy, but wow, it's really fresh. It's fantastic. And it's affordable. Everything there is affordable, so there's that.
Oh, John says you guys need to create a CEG certificate and hand them out to places you guys approve.
Oh, really?
David, by the way, David's had this idea before.
Yeah. So my whole thing is truth. Like, if you tell me something, I want to believe that it's true. So I know that a lot of like Saget and there's a lot of companies that come and review Vegas, right? But it's so conditional. I don't think they take in like the whole sort of depth. Like if you make a claim and you try to be something, be that. Don't be something else. That was my whole idea, was be like, listen, if I gave you my stamp, then people could reliably count on it to be, factual, right? So if you say you have the best slot machines in town, well, you better have the best slot machines in town, and you better live that experience, right? If you have the best, roulette or the best crap tables, whatever the case is, like there's truth and there's what these companies want you to believe, right? That's why we exist as Casino Quest, because we just teach the truth of the experience. We don't teach you the special sauce. We don't have any magic wands. You come here to create opportunity for yourself, to become more comfortable, knowledgeable, learn etiquette, have a better experience. I want you to come out, ideally, you come to Vegas to be entertained and then go home happy and excited that you had the best possible experience you can, not to create unrealistic expectations of, while you're here, because they're unrealistic expectations. I can't deliver that to you. But so I did, for the longest time, I was a consultant here in Vegas. So I worked on a lot of business plans, and, it's amazing how much BS you come across. And then people, it's mental gymnastics. They try to explain to you how it works and how they're selling it. And ultimately, dude, it's just all nonsense. But anyways, all right, moving on. What else do we got?
What's the next slide?
The next slide is we can go to this, our worst list, but we got to do the tables. Holy crap, I got this heater on over here. Good Lord. All right, what do you got?
Are we doing the list?
Yeah, let's go to the
we're
list.
doing the tables. Oh,
Well,
okay.
you want to do the table? We're going to get to the tables. That'll be part of the Q&A, because everybody wants to know, what are the best tables? Okay, here, ready? This is the other worst. The worst time to visit in July. If you want to bake and you like it hot like me, July sucks. No. I like July. No. July averages like over 110, especially this last year, a lot of 110s. So if you come here with cameras too, they melt. You can't even keep the camera going for longer than a few minutes. Like, we run into that experience a lot. So July sucks to come here. It's really, really flipping hot. You can find some great deals though in July. So that's the thing. July and August, sometimes you can find some good deals because a lot of people are staying home. Obviously, the days to play, this is a no-brainer, the worst days to play is the weekends, because rates go up. Room rates go up, table game limits go up, all these things go up. So, that could be problematic. I always tell everybody, go to the flipping calendar. Don't plan if you're coming to Vegas, if you just look at the Vegas calendar first, you could save yourself thousands of dollars, even if it's a weekday, because there are some weekdays where there's a big convention in town and the rooms fill up and they get super expensive, right? So for those of us who live in Vegas, we know that a lot of these conventioneers that come in town, even though they're on the corporate dime, they don't gamble. So the rooms will go up in price because the casino could only count on those people for that income. They wouldn't spend a lot of money eating or gambling or entertaining and this kind of thing. Although that's changed. This has become a foodie destination, entertainment destination. So that's slowly evolved. But what hasn't evolved is the room rates go literally through the roof. So when Vegas fills up, gets to over 90%, you'll see these rates sort of tick up incrementally very, very quickly. So I always encourage people, before you come to Vegas, go to a room calendar. Almost any hotel on the Strip, and you can get an idea of what's going on. So if you see these rates that are double, like a Tuesday or Wednesday rate, double than what it should be, or a bit high, you know that there's some type of event. You might not even understand why there's the event. It could be the pimps and okay, I don't want to say that. I don't want to get demonetized. But there's quite a few different events that come to Vegas for various reasons, because everybody's got to meet here and talk about shit, right? So plan your trip accordingly, because that could be a lot of money. I mean, if you're saving thousands of dollars on your hotel room, maybe your dinners, plus coming out here when Vegas is busy becomes problematic when it comes to getting into restaurants. A lot of locals book into Strip restaurants. So you can stay at a Venetian, a Palazzo, a Caesars, and you're trying to get into that your hotel's restaurant, and you can't even find a seat because some of them have become so popular that locals are booking into them, and so you find it difficult to get there. So definitely plan ahead, do your research. It never used to be that way, but that's certainly evolved as Vegas has evolved. The biggest time sink in Vegas is check-in. Remote check-in, fantastic. So those hotels that have remote check-in will save you a ton of time. And in many cases, again, I encourage people, when you budget a trip, take into account not just the price of the room, but the convenience, all the convenient factors that go along with it. If you don't like to walk for a long time, if you're coming with lots of luggage, if you need to valet your car, all these are considerations that play a role in how enjoyable your vacation is going to be. So like just booking into your, favorite hotel or what you think might be your favorite hotel is not necessarily a thing. You need to go down the list and find out the things that are sort of important to you to make your stay comfortable. Yes, that's, because just getting your stuff to the hotel, finding transportation from the airport to your hotel is a big thing. MGM has this sort of, Aria, for example, has the Sky Suites. So you upgrade a little bit. You pay a little more if you're looking for that kind of experience, and they'll pick you up at the airport, and they make this sort of hassle-free experience for you. You get to your room, you have remote check-in, someone helps you, gets you out of the shuttle, you get escorted up to your room. It's this wonderful experience. I mean, it just lowers sort of the anxiety and pressure of being about Vegas. So that's then on the flip side of that, if you want to back up your car and your family to a room and not have to walk 2 miles and go through this whole experience of checking in, well, there's Days Inn, there's Embassy Suites, there's all these other properties in town that have those types of amenities. But are you with me? Wow, you guys so quiet, dude.
What am I supposed to say? There was literally zero dead space in that whole time.
I know there was not a lot of dead space, but yeah. All right, what do you got?
Oh, really quickly.
Yes.
Someone asked. T-Sheep asked, "Hey, what are your thoughts on the Korean corn dog place called Crunchies?" We actually did a review on it. It's on Vegas Tycoons.
It is Vegas.
We personally love it. It's
We did
pretty
love
good.
it.
It's cheap
It's cheap
and
Holy
good.
Crap, it was good.
Except David didn't like the Inca dog.
Don't
but that makes
understand
sense.
why is anybody eating squid ink, dude? Squid ink is to send people away, not into. Who makes a food out of ink? Like, why is that a thing? How are we having this debate?
Look, it was good.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, some people just eat all the parts. Anyways, all right. What else you got? Anything else?
Well, we have a lot of people talking about good places to go, blah, blah.
Ooh.
Let's see, where is this? I missed this. Where is
Did you miss?
Here, while I'm finding the comment, Alan Toy says, "What casinos have Tesla chargers? Do any casinos have Tesla chargers?"
So quite a few places have. If they have a garage, a lot of them have set up now. They have the EV charging. Like Fashion Show has charging stations right here in the garage underneath. I don't know if they're actually in the outdoor garages. No,
I haven't seen them in the outdoor
but the
garages.
underground garage, all the way around, all the escalators going up. There's EV charging stations. There's quite a few now have added them. That's big. What else?
This is an interesting question. Dietrich says each slot machine has a number or some type of designation to it as identification. Does this do the player any good? Is there a database online to search this? I don't think so. Does it?
So here's an interesting thing. So some of the casinos have wanted to put up sort of a roadmap of their slot machines because they know that people come to Vegas and love playing certain types of machines. And so the casinos have played around with this. There are certain references that have gone up and down to give you, but the numbers are there for people to call and say, hey, we have a technical issue or we have a payout, those kinds of things. They're not necessarily connected to a roadmap, although a lot of casinos are trying to profile what machines they have, but it's a very competitive market. And the thing with casinos is they don't want to give you any information that might preclude you from going there. So I know one casino network that was all about telling you, where the slot machines are, what denominations they had, et cetera, and instead they chose only to include some very basic information about the types of machines they had, like, okay, the Buffaloes and the Lord of the Rings, and to expect that kind of experience at the casino. But if they were to tell you like all they have, and then you look up and find that the one machine you're looking for is not there, then you might not go there. And so they didn't want to entertain that kind of a scenario. This is why, amazingly, there's a lot of information that's lacking. Like there's a lot of places, a lot of casinos don't offer you prices. Like you have to go to like Yelp or Google reviews and hope that someone has taken a picture of the menu if you're looking for actual prices. Because the restaurants, again, they don't want to give you too much information to preclude you. Like if you know that your steak sandwich is going to be $100, maybe you're not going to go. And so this is part of the consideration. So my objective has always been to give you as much information as possible and let you figure it out, whether you want to experience that or not.
So Fernando asked, have you guys been to Dirt Dog? Again, another review on Vegas Tycoons. Yes,
we love Dirt Dog. Yeah, just so you know, it wasn't as much neon as Dennis thought there was.
There was. You just look.
Listen, he makes this stuff up.
No, it's on the video.
But what?
It's in the video.
Didn't I had some kind of basketball Dirt Dog? Didn't I?
No, you had the Snoop Dogg.
I had Snoop Dogg. It's fantastic. I literally ate a piece of Snoop Dogg. The Snoop Dogg, that is.
My personal favorite is the Mutt Dog. It's a combination of the Red Dog and the Green Dog. If you've ever been there, you would know. But
it's pretty good. Yeah, they got a good dog, dude. They have one outside at Bally's too, by the way. That gets pretty busy. So some of those not so busy. I got to see the changing of the buckets one day. That wasn't as exciting as the hot dog itself. They should leave those buckets in the back, not have the guy sit on them and, rotate around. But anyways, I digress. Hey, by the way, we went down to, we almost went into Heart Attack Grill. And for those of you who don't know, me and Dennis combined weighed 300 pounds, right? We got on, they have a scale. For those of you who can get to 350, you get a free lunch or a free hamburger and some fries.
But okay, wait, no, I have a genuine question.
Go.
Okay, we didn't weigh enough, but if we brought a third person and we weighed enough, do they give us like one burger for free to eat?
No, you won't even get a spanking for that one, dude. They'll just tell you to literally go, suck it somewhere. We actually got to see someone getting the spanking by a very willful participant.
We actually did.
Whose wife or girlfriend was filming the entire thing take place. And so what happens is if you don't finish, you get a little spank. It can be hard to finish because there's a lot of lard that goes into those meals. I will say this. I've eaten at the one in Arizona, and the milkshakes are tremendous, dude. You might be instantly diabetic, but it's really delicious going down. Yes. All right, what else?
Diedrich
Yes?
gave us $4.99 as a super chat and just sent this gift that says, "You're number one."
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And I again, we can't thank you guys enough that we actually have a channel. I love having this podcast. Fantastic. I love that you guys tune in. I hope I'm informative. I hope I'm able to give you guys some information. We hope to share more and more. It's a little bit of a different format. It's not as probative, I think. I really like to focus as much as this is the worst things in Vegas. I like to keep things positive and relative and let you figure it out for yourself. Just because we don't like something, you guys might go to Delmonico and love it. You might have the exact same waiter with the exact same bread, and you might fall in love. I mean,
that's not a thing.
But that wasn't our experience. So, Anyways, all right, ready?
Really quickly, JNL talked about the videos already, but when is the next D&D food adventures?
So we're getting ahead of some videos. We got to do that announcement. Oh, we got to do a give. We got to do the giveaway for nothing. Just so you know, for nothing.
Well, you want to talk about the announcement? You want to?
Well, no, we got the rest of our list to go through real quickly. The worst table game. Ready? The worst table game. Triple Zero. How the hell they started Triple Zero? I don't even know. I guess it's a tie between Triple Zero Roulette and Party Pits. So I know some of you guys like a little TNA with your blackjack, but it's gonna cost you. It's going to cost you. We can't teach you that kind of opportunity because here's what's going to happen. You're going to get 6 to 5 blackjack. You're going to have limited double downs, no surrenders. There's lots of rules that are going to impact your ability to win and monetize. But for some of you who just don't care, it's like being at the strip club, throwing dollars, making it rain, and you're just sitting there playing blackjack. God bless you. You're there for actually the right reason. But if you end up winding into a party pit, and it's a girl that's overly excited to deal to you, who's wearing, less than you did when you were born, kind of thing.
What?
Just know that the blackjack experience might not pay off the way that you want. Although we have had, this is a true story. We have someone. This became a thing in our Discord. So some of these party pit dealers, their counting ability is less so, let's just say. They're not always hired for their ability to count. And so there were a number of players that would buy in for odd sums of money and make out like bandits, like literally getting paid thousands of dollars over in change. Like, so they would, one specifically bought in, let's say $4,500. I won't say the exact amount, but $4,500, and the dealer cut out like $5,500 or $5,800. Just couldn't figure out like how to get this change out, and somehow the managers there were so loose about it, they just approved it, and boom. Well, anyways, this caught fire, and quite a few players were going to this exact table and buying in for weird sums of money, hoping for the same outcome. And yes, they got the same outcome because, again, this person was not big on counting. Either was the supervisor, and so a few of you made out, really flipping well. So if you're looking for that kind of experience, well, hey, there you go. Just figure out, where to go, what party pit to evolve it in. David can't tell you. Oh, God, what an innocent face he has, huh? I mean, look, with that haircut, he looks so innocent. All right, anyways. So party pits aren't what they're, because at the end of the day, after about 5 or 10 minutes, I want to win some money. I want to play. I want to create opportunity, but that's up to you. Whatever you're there for, God bless you. All right. The next thing is the deals. Don't touch those mini bars. That's no deal. That's the worst deal in town. Those mini bars a lot of them have sensors. The minute you move something off that sensor, you own it. Okay? So like whatever it is, a bottle of water, Reese's, and if they have the sensors, those sensors aren't cheap. So like I pulled a bottle of water out of a top tier casino. It was $6, and it wasn't even a big bottle. It was $6. Another one is like a candy. I thought the chips would be, $3, not $5. So those mini bars are not there for your benefit. They're there for the casino's benefit, the hotel's benefit. Go buy your stuff at the 7-Eleven across the street and bring it up in a nice plastic bag. Fit in with the rest of us, all right? Or better yet, just bring it into your luggage with you. Stop at the flippin' Walmart on the way to the Aria and, squeeze it in. I know people want convenience, dude. People want convenience. You know what I mean? Those mini bars must make a mint. Absolute flippin' mint.
You know what's worse? When they have like that mini fridge in your hotel room that's full of stuff, but you move a single thing.
That's what the hell do you think I'm talking about here? That's exactly.
Is that what they're called? They're called mini bars?
Yeah, it's a mini bar.
I thought you were talking about something completely different.
No, yeah. You move anything in that fridge, dude, it's all yours. Those aren't deals. They're not there for your benefit. If you think that the casino was being really like generous and be like, holy crap, they left you a stocked fridge. Yeah, no, get over it and move on, because that's not there for you. That's there for them, okay? But, hey, you got a lot of extra money to spend. You hit the big jackpot. I mean, go for it. All right. The next thing is drink prices, if you don't know, have gone through the roof, dude. No more dollar beers, so expect to pay a little more. So those of you still getting sticker shock from the beer and the margaritas or the specialty cocktails, there's one for you. There's a few casinos, $30 for a specialty cocktail, like literally a little sippy cup, and a guy, whisked it, and seafoam, and hand agitated, and the whole thing. They got all the adjectives. By the time you're reading the description, it really just has 2 different types of, alcohol, and some little sippy straw, and umbrella, and bam, $30, dude. I need to open one of those businesses. Holy crap. And people fill them up. People love them, dude. Yeah. But anyway, so those drinks on the strip. Now, the next thing you know, because this is going to be on my petty list forever, is the damn resort fees, dude. Listen, when I finally can afford a top tier property and do the resort fee, and when some of them include access to the spa, I'm going to come down in the middle of the night with my robe and my tighty whities. I'm going to walk my ass downstairs to that spa, and I'm going to get my feet right there into the damn, you know what I mean? I'm going to just kick some water. I'm going to enjoy myself. Hey, listen, free spa access, dude. Some people there paying outrageous sums of money to be part of that spa. I got it in my resort fees. I'm in. That's my coupon. What do you think? Some of them give you locker access. You can actually imagine that you just start storing all your dirty laundry in the locker at the spa. You just like every day you're walking downstairs, depositing some dirty underwear and socks.
I'm surprised that when you go to like hotel or something.
Yeah. Well, I want to maximize everything, dude.
Yeah, that you don't do that because like you would be the person to be like, you know what? I need to get my value. If I'm paying for the resort fees, I better go out.
Yeah, 100%. Like, like Embassy Suites, they have that free happy hour, right? 1 hour you can just drink your ass off. I don't know, do they still have it? I'm pretty sure they still have it. And so like that whole place, the whole lobby fills up at 5 o'clock. Whatever the happy hour is, the whole lobby is just full of drunks, dude. Everybody getting hammered. Right at 6 o'clock, it clears out. 6:01, there's not a soul to be seen. The same thing with breakfast. So they have this free, a breakfast buffet, whatever the hell it is. And they got to monitor the door because that became a thing. So people would just walk in off the street like they belong there. Like, who's to know? It's the whole lobby. You just sit down. As long as, you dress like you belong, you just get yourself a free snack and, eat and leave, Yeah. I'm all in.
Well, we have a couple questions.
Go.
Number one, BMW George says, what casino has European roulette on their casino?
Well, it used to be the Cromwell had it. That was the one default.
Resorts World has it.
Resorts World has it on the floor, right? You don't have to go to Crockford. But even if you do, if you're playing single 0 and 25, a guy just talked to me today was at Aria. Well, if you're gonna come in $5,000, go upstairs, get on the floor, play SR. I mean, at $5,000, if you're playing at bigger, higher tiers, I would do your research. I'd get on SR. I mean, clearly that's a thing.
Doesn't Cosmo and Aria have it?
Cosmo and Aria, of course, yeah. All top tier properties have. It just depends on where they start the game. Wynn has it too, and many times it's in their high limit pit. But high limit is $25. I mean, if you're playing at 25 straight up, I mean, you could play it.
That's true. And plus, a lot of those systems, you're playing a lot of money there.
Yeah. So if you're playing hundreds, if you're doing these $3,500, $5,000 buy, get on an SR table, figure it out beforehand. Call the casino, get on the floor, and ask them to go in. Don't sit on the regular floor on 00. I mean, it just seems so silly. Like, that just seems like you're throwing away money. I mean, some people don't care. Sadly, there's no crap tables in VIP because they don't want to move those around. They don't have Alex here to move tables around for you. If he's out there, he's so depressed.
Alex.
We're like, Alex, we need a crap table up here on floor number 5. Can you bring it up for us? He's like, yeah, right away, sir. I'm on my way.
By the way, complete side note, but moving a 14-foot craps table is rough.
And we moved it over. We moved it up an escalator. We had to hold the damn thing over our head.
No, dude, that was rough, buddy.
And Alex is like, should we just leave the escalator moving, or no? That wouldn't have worked out well.
It was funny because then we moved a 12-foot and we're like, oh, this is nothing.
No, then we got the 14-footer out of the way. 12-foot was easy.
David says, do you have sales tax in Las Vegas? Yes, we do.
We do have sales tax. If you stay on the Strip, by the way, there's a lot of fees. There's room fees. There's all sorts of fees because they milk the casinos basically pay a lot of the bills for the state. And so they're always getting any new fee that comes down the pipe, it gets whacked. The hotels, the casinos usually get whacked first. We definitely have use taxes all over the place. Be careful, by the way, because there are these assessed fees now that are not part of law that some businesses are adding. So some restaurants, and I've heard of some hotels have been adding these sort of side fees. Make sure when they do that, again, you got to just talk. Like, if it's $2, a lot of people just, if it's $2, it falls under the radar. Nobody cares. I probably would miss it, this kind of thing. But, again, a lot of times it's just you have to communicate. If you go to a restaurant, so I know of a restaurant here locally that was adding this sort of adjustment. They were adjusting bills based on, I don't know what the hell it was based on, but that's not fair. If you want to adjust the price, you adjust the price on the menu so people know what they're getting into, right? And they go from there. You can't just like arbitrarily after the fact add some fee. I mean, that's just the silliest thing. See, that's the kind of BS I wanted to fight against here. Just not just here, pretty much everywhere. Car dealerships, for example, they talk to you. Car dealerships out here have a $500 dock fee that they say, oh, it's a standard. It's not required by, there's no law in this state that has a dock fee. They make you think that there is, but there's nothing. And it doesn't approach $500. Like, so if you assume that they're going to go to the DMV and register and do all this stuff, it's not a $500 cost, right? So those are the kinds of the BS stuff we like to fight against. But anyways, what else you got?
David said, do casinos charge for the fridge use in the room? Not if it's not a mini bar. If it's just a fridge, you're fully allowed to use it.
Yeah, so some properties you just don't have a fridge, or they have the mini fridge. A lot of times you have to upgrade now to get. So some of the off, like Alexis Park, for example, or Saint Tropez, some of these off strip places will have a fridge, and you open it up, there's nothing in the fridge. It's an old school fridge. It's not, it's not a newer fridge, and right away you know that it's just there for your use, and it'll be empty and it'll be part of the amenities. But the two things that, well, let's say three things that have really disappeared a lot from rooms that used to be sort of standard. There's no microwave unless you upgrade to a suite. There's no fridge other than the mini fridge. They love the mini fridge. Even some of these older properties have been putting in mini fridges. And again, they'll assess even if they don't have sensors. If you pull that water out, you own it. They'll charge you after the fact before they close out your card. That's what that deposit's for. And the other thing is the damn coffee pots. Like, they no longer, because they have a Starbucks downstairs, and then they want you to wait in line at Starbucks.
Oh yeah, they don't.
forever.
Yeah, they don't give you a Keurig anymore. They like
Or a
to screw
Keurig,
it.
and the Keurig costs, like, if you whack that pod, forget about it. Another thing. So they have a pod in your room. Some of them will have a Keurig, and they'll have the pods. But if you break the seal in that pod, again, you're gonna get charged more for the one pod than I'm like, not a box of pods, but it gets absurd. That's one of the things. I'm a big coffee drinker, if you didn't know. And that irritates me. I bring my own flippin' coffee pot. I literally pack a portable coffee pot with some portable flippin'. Look at him. I got the whole setup because I like my coffee semi-fresh. As fresh as Folgers can get, just so you know. Because, Folgers, I just like it easy. I have a Keurig, then an espresso machine. I can't keep that not to break. It keeps breaking on me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. But I bring my own pot. I'm just done. I don't understand. And not because I would go to Starbucks if it wasn't for the fact that there's 200 other people at Starbucks at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I got other shit to do, like literally that. You know what I mean?
Ooh, Tyson asked, when do you think we'll get $5 table minimums on craps again?
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. I mean, that's the thing. One of the biggest things go ahead.
You can go to Ellis Island. That's a good
Go to
one.
Ellis Island. On the strip, you're not going to see $5 for a long time. I really think we're about, I would say 6 months. Well, when I say long time, relatively speaking, 6 months to a year. The casinos have been having it too good. The wins have been up. You know what? It's interesting because the casinos risk less by raising table minimums and maintaining table limits. So if you have a $300,000, $500,000 table limit, but your minimum now is $10, $25, what ends up happening is you're squeezing the average player. So for many of you that come out here, you don't have a system, bankroll, or anything else that approaches $10, $15, $25 table, and the wins in Vegas have been literally off the charts. So a lot of casinos have just been, and casino managers have been, doing this kind of thing, and been really enjoying the big wins, because of course it's big wins because everybody's playing short money. Like if you're someone that comes to Vegas and you come up to the casino, you pay for $300 at a time or $200 at a time, but now you're on a $15 to $25 game. What are you going to play? That's why a lot of these hedging systems have become more popular. People feel like they could stay in action a little better, but not necessarily true, of course. But this is the real takeaway for me, because again, I think they're taking the heart out of the casino environment, and I think they're playing, ultimately if people come to expect that this is the new default, and then when they come to Vegas, they're not here to really create opportunity, they're not really to pay, there's no expectation of win. The more people come here and make a deposit, I think the less incentive there is. Then the incentives changes to where you're just coming for the food, you're coming from the shows, that kind of thing, and less so for table games. So I think long term, I would be very excited for these casinos to get back to $5, even $10 games. All these $15, $25, $100 games on the weekend is absurd. I've seen some lower tier, mid tier properties, $50 starting bets. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And then you see you're out there and you see them dead because they just want the one player that's willing to come in and just screw it and call it a day. I used to do it at Casino Arizona when I lived in Arizona. Casino Arizona was one of the very first casinos. Gila River, Casino Arizona. Those are the only two casinos near where I lived. And the tables would fill up. The blackjack tables would fill up because that's all they really had. And then you would wait. And while you were waiting, they had 25-cent lucky or $1, $2 machines to play. So ultimately I just stopped going because it was just too much. Or I would wait longer before I would go. I would make my visits less and less because I don't want to be stuck on $1 or $2 machines waiting 2 hours for a blackjack table. That's not a thing. I think it's really disappointing. I recently talked to a casino manager, and I think this as a trend is terrible. But I do think that's going to change. I do think once the Palms opens up again under San Manuel, and I think once all these independent operators, Fontainebleau, for example, is coming online. You have the Mirage, of course, being bought by the Hard Rock, the Seminoles. They're going to want to be more competitive. So the more there's independent ownership, the more competitive Vegas will be, and I think there's going to be a return to some value. And I think most of us will enjoy that. So as much as this pandemic has invited lots of weird, people have got a bit strung out on stimulus checks. They came here and blew their minds. I mean, it's amazing what went on in Vegas for a while. Most of us thought the casinos would get whacked, the real estate market's going to get whacked, everyone's going to stay unemployed, but that didn't work out. People came here, they spent money, they gambled, all these things happen. But now I think the real life is starting to catch up. And the diversification of the Strip is a really good sign. For someone like myself, for most of you, I have to believe that that's true. And for our school, I think that's also a really positive sign. I want to see these tables. That I want casinos to recognize that the tables is the heart. These are the heart and the soul, the front line of a casino. Besides the front desk, are these tables. This whole experience that all of us, that you guys, being hopefully you're fans of the channel, or you just love my soothing voice. That's less so. But where did I leave off?
Well, yeah, you went on a whole rant about
I
that.
I could go on
but
forever,
really quickly,
dude.
I do want to add a little bit to it. It's a little bit of a shame because
wow, your hair is fantastic.
Oh anyways, it's a little bit of a shame because the reason being is people like me who are turning 21, gonna be on a casino floor at some point. I'm gonna go play craps. I'm gonna go play any of these table games, and I'm gifted to be here and have people to teach me and learn, and I get to learn for free. But
wait a minute, free? What's going on? Wait, what? Anyways, go ahead.
But I don't know. I think it's a shame that if the table minimums are too high, there's not going to be a new generation of craps players. I personally fell in love with the game of craps, so I think
it's not craps anymore, dude. You can't. When I used to deal. I dealt a 25-cent game for at least the first 2 years that I was a dealer, which I think contributed to me, being very having some dexterity on the game, having some knowledge and control of the game. It really evolved me into a great crap. And when it was 25 cents, it was a lot of play. It was a really exciting game. For those of you who are older and remember the dollar tables, or even the consistent $5 tables, there were people would really fill up the game. I mean, there were 8 people aside, lots of cheering. People had money to stay and enjoy themselves and make that outing, last. Nowadays, not so much. People, they're out, they play for an hour, they have to leave because they have no more money, and they have to move on. And I think that's a takeaway. And like you said, I mean, that's a thing. What's amazing is the casinos are still hiring. I mean, the hiring is going on. There's a lot of demand for dealers. A lot of older dealers got whacked. Or
just decided to retire.
And when I say whacked, I mean just decided to retire. I shouldn't have used the word whacked. Like, oh my God, they all dropped dead.
No. I mean, there's a lot of retired dealers.
Yeah.
And that left a lot of room. By the way, fun fact of the day, I love saying this. There was always more dealer jobs than dealers way before COVID. So it's even more so true now.
Yeah, that's true. Even poker rooms have come online now. And a lot of poker rooms are closing or diminishing, and now those are coming back. So that's good. All right, what else do we got? We have any Q&A? All right, best.
Well, I got a couple of things.
Go.
Alan Toy says, will Casino Quest Hotel and Casino have bird game tables?
100%, dude. I would love that, dude. I would really love that. I mean, there's so many people. We would do it as a. This is like a thing. Yeah. You wouldn't make a ton of money, but who cares? We would have low limits, bird game, and we would play it for the attraction. It would be fantastic. People would have so much fun, dude. I bet we would have to you would have to reserve a spot. That's how busy it would be.
Yeah, no, you would have to make your reservation online. Yeah.
Sadly, by the time we get that done, I mean, every bird game deal is going to be passed away. You know what I mean?
Well, we got you to train them.
By the way, we wanted to do a bird game. I have a friend of mine who also was a bird game dealer, and we're thinking about doing a A bird game, dealing a bird game, showing you what it's like, letting everybody bet. We'd have to get some new checks so that there would be actual 25-cent checks to move. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. You guys would love it. Even the dime game, missed art. Dime game even more so, by the way. I never dealt a dime game, thank God. That was a lot of work. But the way that the dime games were dealt was very unique. So they didn't have dime checks. So it was a lot of fun. To see them working those dimes was quite stunning, quite honestly. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, no, it must have been interesting. I could only imagine, like, the way you explained it to me, them spitting the dimes around the table.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I would love to recreate that. All right. What else you got? This is all the Q&A. Go ahead. Ask away. Anything. I'm open for anything as long as I don't get canceled.
Susan says, does Jerry's have $5 tables? Yes, they do, and sometimes even
They do.
$3.
And even $3. During the pandemic, so much $5. But yeah, David's over there. He's he's a dealer, crap dealer. And he's now table games director over there. And yeah, he totally believes in just access and getting people around the game. And so $5 table is totally a thing. They have some really wonderful people over there. So far, it's been a really great relationship with our dealers. We haven't heard anything negative, so this is good.
And good food. John says, that's why Casino Quest is your best bet. Why pay $25 minimum bets? Just come to Casino Quest.
It's.
By the way, that's our John, 21.
That's our John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why we love John. Yeah, I mean, so here we have a lot of regulars that come here to play, work on strategies, evolve. We have a few people that come here just to enjoy. They're just tired of losing their money at the casino, so they still love the table games, especially dice, so they come here and play some dice. So that's always the. By the way, we also have Crapsy. I keep forgetting Crapsy. We're going to start playing this on a weekly basis. There's Chuck out there. I'm going to actually be the host, not this Wednesday, but starting next Wednesday. Give this, it's now mobile friendly. So if you haven't been to crapsy.com and downloaded it, and you can play for free, or you can pay to play, we have a lot of exciting news coming. So right now it's all about upgrading the software platform, making it mobile friendly, and creating like the best possible experience. But that's all coming together. You guys have had some wonderful feedback. And the software has been upgraded tremendously. It's fantastic. It's really a lot of fun. In fact, now it's got that fun factor where you can go back and see how other people are doing. There's this whole competitive bent to it. In fact, we gotta get Dennis back to work quite a few times during the day because he pulled. You got your phone out right now?
Well, no, I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him, dude. I'm gonna show him.
You're gonna show him? You can pull it up on your screen. What do you do?
No, I was gonna show them on my phone.
Oh, you're going to show them on your phone? Yeah, it's really improved. It's fantastic software, so we're really hoping you guys love this because ultimately we're going to create our own tournament, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it and bring you guys out here.
So Crapsy is now on Android. Here, I might have to get closer.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, no, yeah. Yep. Can they see it? Oh, yeah. I forgot you had a camera over there, dude. Yeah, yeah, Android. That's the Android version. Hello. Mobile friendly.
It's only on Android, by the way. You should say that.
It's not on iOS yet. Yeah, it's only on Android. It's coming to iOS in a minute. Apple. They got their hands and everything, so it's going to take a second to get there. All right, what else do we got? What else can I answer? We got to give something away. We got to give this away. Everybody's waiting for the big news. After this, we'll let everybody go if they want to go, and then we'll have the big news for everyone who's left. Because we do have some big news with our team and our channel. Big. So big.
How big?
Not big enough. All right. Well, we're going to give these away. Let's give them away. Say hello. Did we mail out everything from last week?
I don't think everything, but we mailed out most of it.
Most of it? All right.
We got a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
I would try to pronounce your name, but I can't. I think it's funny that the Travels near me has a $10 crack, but $2 roulette seems like a little backwards to me.
Oh, really? $10 crap table, $2 roulette game. Yeah, that's completely backwards. Everybody's got their own thing going, man. There's old mentality. People ask me all the time, like, why would you have a $25 table and no players? I agree 100%. So clearly they're holding out hope that the guy will come in, or people will just say, hey, screw it, I'm going to come in $25. But most of us, that's not a thing. I would much rather have a busy $5 table than 0 people on a $25 game. It makes no sense.
Well, JFO, because earlier you were saying the giveaway's for nothing, so he just wants the word to be nothing.
Nothing? I'm in. For nothing. There
Type
you go.
nothing in
Ready?
the chat if you want a chance
Yep.
to win this.
Spam nothing, and we are going to give away our Koi Fish 2022 coin and our Bitcoin. For those of you still looking to collect your first Bitcoin, here it is in a pseudo gold format. All right.
I mean, while they're spamming in the chat, you want
Yes.
to talk about the
The news. Our news. All right, so for those of you who don't already know or haven't been to our Vegas Tycoons thing, Timmy is leaving. He's still going to have a role. He's still near and dear to our heart. He's still part of this business. But he is kind of handing off the apron strings to his buddy Dennis and Jet, who are
the only option.
the only options. I know. I was at lunch the other day, and I mentioned that Dennis was the only option. But I meant it in a good way, but it didn't come out well. And not because he's the only... by default, which he is the only option, which is that he's a fantastic only option. Yeah, he's our top lead admin. He's our only lead admin. He's the number one lead admin. But anyways, so Timmy is going to be heading off to Japan. You won't be seeing him a lot in the movies. He has a girlfriend in Japan. He's looking to start a family and sort of move on. He's got some other things that he's working on as well. So
Also, side note, because
Yep.
I did see this in the Tycoon vlog. If you're worried about Timmy never dealing a blackjack challenge, he's not that he's never gonna do it. It's just will be a more rare occasion.
yeah, it's going to be much rarer. Yeah, we're going to have to pay for him to fly out here and do it. So it's going to be never. It's never. That's what that is. Can you imagine sending me the bill for your airplane from Japan? I'd be like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, see, because you're David. You would just figure out when he gets here, like when
Nah,
he's gonna
does
visit
Spirit
Vegas.
Airline fly to Japan? Can
No,
you
no,
imagine that?
You wouldn't even.
Is there a boat he can get on that's
would-
COVID free?
You wouldn't even figure out his transportation. You would just conveniently
Yeah.
know when he comes to Vegas.
Oh, that's
so
just book his ass
you don't
in.
have to pay for it.
That's 100%. Yeah, that's 100%. So we're gonna miss Timmy. We love Timmy. He's been near and dear. A lot of you guys have come to know him or not know him because he kind of lives under a rock. But yeah, we're gonna miss Timmy. Timmy's been a fantastic part of this business. So we're definitely gonna miss him. All right, well, let's put a stop to the whole spam because I'm
What
sure
time
they're
you wanna
spammed
stop?
out. Go ahead, stop.
1 through 20.
All right, what's Timmy? What's a good number for Timmy? What's a Timification number?
21, but there's
21? There is no 21.
Yeah.
Give me a number I can work with here, buddy, okay? Work
7?
with me. 7? 7 is the number. Bam.
Wow, Linda S, you're the winner.
Really? That's fantastic. Is that a name?
Linda S.
Oh, Linda S? Oh,
All
crap. Are you sure it's not rigged? That sounds like it's rigged, dude. Did you not pick her on purpose?
I
I
picked
don't
number
believe it, dude.
7.
I
I
now
picked
think it's
number
rigged.
7.
I'm thinking it's rigged, dude. It's like when Alan Toy came up as a winner the other day. That was completely F. Anyways, all right, so there we go. So congratulations, Linda. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a part. By the way, we probably owe Linda a lot of stuff anyway, so there you go.
Well, we need to go pick up a slot machine but we need to make a trip out.
Oh, crap. Oh, that's that, Linda? Oh, my
Yes.
God. Yeah, we got to get the hell out of here. Finding up a couple days in a week. All right, so what else do we got? That's it. I think that's it. Do you guys have any more questions? I mean, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, whatever you got, we're all about it. Just
By the
tell
way,
me. Yes?
Really quick side note, if you guys like the show, leave a like button. It tells us that you like this type of show and it lets us know to keep going.
Yeah, because we want to keep going. We love this. We love you guys. We love being part of this experience. We love doing whatever we can. And yeah, hoping to keep it going. All right. Everybody stay safe, be well, win lots of money. Come to Vegas to have fun. Come see us here at Casino Quest if you have the time or the inkling. And again, we can't thank you enough from the bottom of our heart. If you are interested in becoming a dealer, come down to CEG Dealer School. And please, if you're interested in being a dealer and want to give us a call, use our CEG Dealer School phone for that. Those of you working on systems, that kind of thing, that's Casino Quest. Just so you know, different things, because we have to reserve that phone for people interested in being dealers or for our dealers or our students, that kind of thing. And thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Leaving in 3, 2, 1, fade to black.
Fantastic.